the boy opens his eyes. He unexpectedly finds his long-deceased girlfriend sleeping beside him. When he sees the clock on the table, he suddenly realizes. He realized that he had been reborn back to 10 years ago. And today happened to be the time when the apocalypse struck. Zombies roamed, animals mutated, and the whole world instantly turned into a hell on earth. Recalling the scene from the past, Zhongming's mind buzzed. But then he had another thought. Now, with 10 years of apocalypse experience under his belt, isn't it like indirectly cheat codes activated? Next, the first thing Zhongming wanted to do was to shake off his girlfriend Baishur. Turns out, in the previous life, Baishur had already been cheated on by him. She has been having ambiguous interactions with another rich second generation, Qin Jun. Even though Zhongming fought tooth and nail to protect her initially, in the end, he was still ruthlessly abandoned by her. But the outcome is still satisfying. In the apocalypse, Qin Jun fought for just 3 cans of food. He directly traded them away to Baishur. And Zhongming also fulfilled the last bit of friendship, reminding her to be careful of Qin Jun in the future. He then turned around without looking back and left. He is preparing medicines and tools in order to cope with the upcoming doomsday. He then took out the inheritance left by his parents and spent money like water. He first went to the hospital for a shopping spree. Then he went to the outdoor supplies store to purchase a set of equipment. The most important thing is to make sure that the weapons are properly arranged. At this time, the boss was still happily thinking of making a killing. Little did he know that in a little while, money would become worthless. After all preparations were completed, Zhongming asked the driver to hurry and take him to Dingxing Villa because there was something of utmost importance in the apocalypse. That is the redemption wheel. In the days to come, resources, equipment, and special abilities all must be obtained by spinning the wheel. According to Zhongming's memory, the first redemption wheel is located inside Dingxing Villa. After he arrived at the main gate of the villa area, he was stopped by diligent security guards. But at this moment, Zhongming completely ignored the intercepting security guards and directly rushed in by swiping his card. After some twists and turns, Zhongming finally arrived at his destination. At this time, the security guard also caught up and scolded him with a baton in hand. But Zhongming paid no attention at all. Instead, he pointed to the sky, indicating for them to look over there. Not looking, they had no idea. Once they looked, they were scared to the point of peeing themselves. A battleship emitting a golden holy light suddenly appeared in the sky. 2 security guards quickly took out their iPair-14 to take photos upon seeing the scene. While they were busy posting on moments, Zhongming ran away. Because he knew that 5 minutes later, the world would turn into a living hell. And for now, the only thing he had to do was find the first redemption wheel. Later, Zhongming arrived in front of a villa. If nothing unexpected happens, the location of the wheel is right here. Then, Zhongming pretended to deliver a package. After ringing the doorbell, he directly broke into the house. At this moment, a beautiful young woman appeared in front of him. She looked at Zhongming warily. But at this moment, continuous explosions could be heard outside the window. Warships officially started their attack, continuously deploying Lotus Qingwen capsules onto the ground, just when everyone thought it was a terrorist attack. The capsules suddenly burst open with a cracking sound. Later, a green unidentified gas was emitted. Men were seen struggling in pain within the green gas. But the next second, the man's face suddenly became extremely grim. The boy woke up and found. He found his long-deceased girlfriend beside him. However, he did not feel happy. Instead, he woke her up immediately to break up with her. It turns out the boy found himself reborn 10 years ago. In the previous life, his girlfriend had betrayed him behind his back. And today, after being reborn, it happens to be the time when a great disaster is approaching. So Zhongming, without hesitation, bought himself a set of equipment and medicine. He arrived at a villa relying on memories from his past life, searching for the key to surviving the apocalypse. Redemption Wheel. Just as the hostess looked wary, explosions could be heard continuously from outside. Soon, green smoke kept spreading. When people inhaled it, they will turn into unconscious zombies. At this moment, Zhongming completely ignored the hostess and instead looked around. When he saw the kitchen, his eyes lit up. He then rushed towards the kitchen. At this moment, the kitchen had an extra mysterious machine emitting a blue light. Yes, that's right. It's the redemption wheel that Zhongming is looking for. I saw the hostess looking like she had never seen the world before. Zhongming made a simple introduction to her. In the underworld, if you want to obtain equipment and strengthening potions, you have to go through the redemption wheel. And the gray crystal in the middle of the wheel represents that this is a level 1 wheel, which is the lowest level. And the strengthening potion is in a level 1 wheel. It is one of the most valuable rewards. Potions that can triple or quadruple physical abilities. It is essential for people's early survival. And the grooves on the dial represent the need for the corresponding number of level 1 crystals to draw a reward once. But at this moment, Zhongming looked shocked. Because a regular level 1 wheel only has 5 grooves. But the one in front of him actually has 7 grooves. That means there are more important exchanges on this wheel than potions. Sure enough, there was a lucky card on the wheel. This card can provide additional special abilities. For example, enhancing the 5 senses and physique, or owning a companion beast. But the female protagonist still finds it hard to believe the nonsense Zhongming said. She ran directly to the door to find the security guard to complain. But the next second, a ferocious face appeared in front of her. Originally, the security guard had turned into a zombie. The security guard immediately tackled her to the ground. And it opened its blood-stained mouth. Incredulously, tears flowed out from it. At the critical moment, a trace of green light suddenly appeared. It's Zhongming. After it was resolved, Zhongming dug out a gray crystal from his head. The sharp-eyed hostess had already guessed the relationship between the crystal and wheel. But as soon as one wave subsides, another arises. 2 more zombies appeared at the door and lunged at the 2 people. Zhongming, on the other hand, made a swift turn. His fierce gaze flashed by. 1 slash. 2 slashes. He was decisive and efficient. Looking at the young man in front of her, the hostess couldn't help but show a hint of admiration in her eyes. After solving the present predicament, Zhongming finally remembered to ask for her name. When he heard her name, Zhongming looked shocked. It turned out to be Mu-Sinfai. The woman in front of him turned out to be the 9 stars powerhouse rumored to appear 10 years later. This woman actually dares to open the door at home wearing slippers. Sure enough, the moment the door opened, a fierce face appeared in front of her. Wearing slippers, she was instantly subdued by a zombie. The zombie then opened its huge blood-filled mouth like a large clay pot, planning to eat her slippers in one bite. At the critical moment, a boy in red clothes slashed by with a knife. He successfully rescued the woman and her slippers. The boy, who had just been reborn from 10 years later, Zhongming, was shocked when he heard the woman's name was Mu-Sinfai. Because the woman in front of him is the 9 stars powerhouse from 10 years in the future. Zhongming then explained the current situation to her. Due to a massive poisonous fog attack on Earth, most people have turned into zombies. Even the army completely collapsed just a few minutes ago. Now, the only supply of goods depends on this wheel in front of us. Just need to take the crystal off the top of the zombie's head. Place it on the groove of the wheel. Just fill the groove to be able to make one draw. After explaining to Mu-Sinfai, Zhongming starts going out to hunt zombies, as he has been reborn with 10 years of post-apocalyptic experience. Level 1 zombies are just like a piece of cake for Zhongming. He smoothly performs a spinning jump with his eyes closed. He instantly takes down 11 zombies. Plus the 3 crystals they got earlier. Enough for them to do 2 rounds of lucky draws. Time is of the essence. The 2 squatted in front of the wheel. As the crystal disappeared, The wheel started spinning rapidly. Next, please welcome the first lucky contestant. It turns out to be a few cans. Although in the apocalypse, cans can be considered luxurious items. But in the Mu-Senpai household, getting canned food is obviously the most useless. Zhongming handed the remaining chance to Mu-Senpai to take a look at what the future 9 stars experts will draw. She carefully placed the crystal into the wheel and inserted the last crystal card. The wheel spun rapidly once again. When the results came out, Zhongming was dumbfounded. It turned out to be the precious exclusion card. When drawing important equipment or skills later in the game, this artifact that increases accuracy can be described as crucial. No pain without comparison. Compared to Mu-Senpai, who can win a cow in a supermarket lottery. I have never even tried. One more bottle. Since I was in my mother's womb. There is a reason to become a strong contender in the 9 stars. After a night of rest and reorganization, Zhongming continued to go out to harvest minions. Mu-Senpai took out a kitchen knife. Stay at home and take care of logistical support. After a fierce operation, Zhongming basically harvested the zombies in the community. But the number of crystals is far less than expected. After a delicious, dark cooking session, the two of them continue to draw lots. Indeed, luck is also part of strength. She drew practical weapons 2 times in a row. And at this moment, Mu-Senpai gestured for Zhongming to draw the last time. Knowing that he was a jinx for winning prizes, he quickly declined. But Mu-Senpai suddenly grabbed his hands. She closed her eyes and gently blew a breath. She spoke softly and said, "I will share half of my good luck with you." At this moment, Zhongming blushed. His restless heart was like a deer in a panic. Chung Ka was stunned for a moment. Mu-Senpai's divine maneuver next second. He instantly calmed his restless heart. In the year 2220, people can only obtain food through the wheel lottery. Due to a massive toxic fog attack on Earth, most people have turned into unconscious zombies. The remaining humans are like living in a hell on Earth. People can only hunt and kill zombies in exchange for enough crystals to participate in the wheel lottery. Zhongming is reborn from 10 years later back to the time when the end of the world has just begun. With 10 years of experience in the end of the world, quickly find the first wheel. Also inadvertently recruited the strong 9 stars cultivator Mu-Senpai 10 years later. Just as the two of them were drawing lots, Mu-Senpai accidentally waved the exclusion card. A precious exclusion card was thus used by her on the most basic wheel. This divine move left Zhongming speechless. After that, the wheel started to spin rapidly. The two can now only use their killer moves. Pray to the gods and worship the Buddha. People with a halo indeed shine wherever they go. Zhongming, who has never even tried to say, "One more bottle," he actually scored with his first shot. He drew the most valuable basic strengthening potion, which at least tripled his close combat power. In the early game, this is definitely a life-saving artifact. Not only that, the resurrected Zhongming has even sneakier gameplay. He took out the heparin he got from the hospital, then poured it into the pot with a potion. After slow cooking at 30 degrees Celsius, he successfully prepared 2 bottles of fortified potion. You can trade excess potions with others for valuable cards or medications. Mu-Senpai looks at the knowledgeable boy in front of him. At this moment, Mu-Senpai is already like an infatuated person. But at this moment, suddenly there came the sound of creaking from outside the door. At this moment, Zhongming's face turned very ugly. Then he said coldly, "Something even more troublesome than a zombie has come, dot." Then he immediately grabbed Mu-Senpai and ran up the stairs. The door kept banging as if there were hordes of things trying to break in. As expected, a group of virus-infected cannibalistic beetles swarmed in. They devoured the door completely, and then chased after Zhongming and the others up the stairs. They reached a room on the 2nd floor and immediately used a wardrobe to block the door. But suddenly, with a loud bang, Mu-Senpai was so frightened that she dove into Zhongming's arms. She pressed tightly against his chest, her body trembling uncontrollably. And at this moment, Yi Zhongming displayed textbook perfect behavior. "Don't worry, I'm here," he said with super strong boyfriend power, instantaneously breaking Mu Sinfai's defenses. Afterwards, Yi Zhongming settled Mu Sinfai down. He walked out of the room alone. "The rest is up to me." With a loud bang, he shut the door directly. And the army of tiny bugs outside was already hungry and impatient. They tirelessly gnawed at the stainless steel door. And Yi Zhongming took out the strengthening potion he had just drawn. Emotion surged in one gulp. But the side effects of the potion were too great. The intense pain caused Yi Zhongming to kneel directly. In the midst of his struggle, little insects were already drooling behind him. With a swish, one of them knocked him to the ground. The other insects immediately swarmed in, ready to feast on the rich meal. But at this moment, a sharp sword pierced through the head of the little insect. Green blood gushed out instantly. With a crackling sound, the little insect's body was instantly separated. Not someone else. It's the strengthened Yi Zhongming. 200 years later, cockroaches are even bigger than humans. It turns out that the Earth has been struck by a large-scale toxic fog. Most people have turned into unconscious zombies, and even the plant life has undergone mutations. The remaining people can only move by spinning the wheel to draw survival supplies and enhance drugs. And just now, faced with an attack by cockroaches bigger than humans, Yi Zhongming quickly drank the just-obtained potion of enhancement. Under the strong side effects, making it difficult for him to take a step. Unbeknownst to him, danger was quietly approaching. But at the critical moment, Yi Zhongming's eyes glowed red. His whole body exuded a strong murderous aura. 1 slash. 2 slashes. The cockroach army was instantly chopped into pieces by him. But experience told him, to catch thieves, first catch the ringleader. So what he needs to do now is to deal with Cockroach Mom as a warning to others. Sure enough, don't speak of the devil in the daylight. Cockroach Mom seems to have heard Yi Zhongming's call, appearing silently behind him. It looks at the dead people in front of it. Cockroach Mom buzzes angrily. Then, without saying a word, it directly spits out green insect fluid towards Yi Zhongming. Its corrosiveness is no less than concentrated sulfuric acid. It sees that long-range attacks have failed. Cockroach Mom charges straight towards Yi Zhongming. And Yi Zhongming seems to have been waiting for a long time. It turns out that Yi Zhongming had already searched on Google. He found out that its weakness lies in its back. Then there was a click. Green blood gushed out in an instant. Cockroach Mom cried out in pain. Not only that, Yi Zhongming also drew circles on its body. He moved slowly with his left hand and right hand. Just now, the previously arrogant Cockroach Mom suddenly lost vitality. After the crisis, Mu Sinfai once again rushed towards Yi Zhongming with a strong reassurance. The two are about to start dealing with the gifts of nature. Due to environmental changes, people cannot obtain food through planting and breeding. So when the supplies on the market are almost consumed, food will become very scarce. And these jerky made from cockroach bodies. It is our important food source aside from the supplies provided by Wheel. After passing on the brewing method to Mu Sinfai, Yi Zhongming decided to go on a long journey to collect crystals and information. Now the vast streets are empty with various zombie bodies. At this time, a cry for help came from not far away. It turned out to be a girl wearing cool clothes. And Yi Zhongming covered her mouth the first time. It turned out that her cry for help just now had exposed the positions of the two people. One of the minions quickly grabbed onto the girl's few items of clothing. Fortunately, Yi Zhongming was quick and agile. With a swipe of his hand, he directly made it land in a box. But 2 fists are no match for 4 hands. A hero can't withstand a crowd. Yi Zhongming and his companion had no choice but to flee first. Luckily, fortune favors the prepared mind. They found an abandoned building. The two of them were able to take a temporary breather. But their happiness lasted only 3 seconds. In the second, The door unexpectedly was not closed tightly. The two could only continue to flee. However, not everyone has been strengthened like Zhongming, especially a girl dressed lightly. During the intense stair-climbing exercise, the girl started showing signs of exhaustion. And just at that moment, a minion tightly grabbed her foot. The boy had originally gone out to scavenge for supplies. Who would have thought that he actually picked up a girl instead, along with a bunch of zombies? So the two of them kept fleeing non-stop. But due to the girl's exhaustion, she was caught by a zombie as soon as she was caught from behind. Fortunately, Zhongming acted swiftly. With a quick motion, he saved the girl from the fire. And at this moment, a stream of light flashed across the sky. At once, he caught Zhongming's attention. It turned out to be a Mythic Realm key. The Mythic Realm key is one of the most precious things in the post-apocalyptic world. It is the only tool to unlock the hope of life in the Mythic Realm. And the resurrected Zhongming can be said to be sure to succeed. But in the moment he was distracted, a zombie actually planned to cut off his descendants. Fortunately, at the most critical moment, he promptly blocked his vital parts with a knife. At this point, Zhongming did not run away either. A mere dozen or so zombies were simply no match for him. As expected, in the blink of an eye, he dealt with them. Then the two of them arrived at the rooftop. Found the location where the key fell just now. It was behind a high school. He then tied the girl up with a hemp rope. He carried her on his back. Then he leaped up without hesitation. No need for any drafts. He performed a smooth 360-degree somersault without any splash when landing. He reached the destination successfully. However, they were unaware that someone was already monitoring them from a distance. After the thrilling scene just now, the girl began to trust the boy in the red jacket in front of her. She briefly introduced herself as Liang Qun, but before she could say more than a few words, a cry for help came from above the teaching building, and Zhongming thought of this location, where he could have a better view of where the key fell. So he told Liang Qun to hide herself. Then he showed off his barehanded climbing skills. He smashed a broken window, kicked in to take down a thug, saving a teacher and two students. As expected, the purple-haired teacher did see where the key had fallen. However, the condition for exchange was to rescue them first. But now Zhongming's strength can only save two people at most. After careful consideration, the purple-haired teacher is willing to sacrifice herself for the two students. Once Zhongming safely takes the two down the stairs, she writes down her location on a note to give to him. At this moment, Zhongming leans against the door. After listening carefully and confirming there are only 3 zombies outside, he opens the door. Then one zombie appears in front of everyone, but is instantly kicked away by Zhongming. He then takes down the 3 zombies in a row. He speeds away with the 2 students, leaving the purple-haired teacher shivering in the wind. Luckily, the zombies are all gathered upstairs. Otherwise, it would be hard for Zhongming, who is burdened with 2 liabilities, to resist. But at this moment, a terrifying feeling emerges. Zhongming immediately asked the 2 people to stop, because there was an unprecedented sense of danger ahead. But the corridor turned out to be unexpectedly calm. Even the 2 little brats suspected him of having a mental disorder. Zhongming began to doubt himself. But in fact, there was indeed a dark figure hovering above them. The boy unexpectedly stayed up all night, walking in the school corridors with 2 female students. And there was also a cold and eerie wind blowing around. Sure enough, one of the female students felt a chilling sensation at the back of her head. When she turned around, there was a big bloody mouth in front of her. And at that moment, a flying knife flew by. With a clicking sound, it chopped off half of the monster's upper lip. Zhongming's little flying dagger looked at the red lips wriggling on the ground. The monster finally realized that its mouth had been cut off. It kept screaming in pain. It rushes towards Zhongming without hesitation. Zhongming, who is unarmed, can only use his fists to fight it head-on. But obviously, the monster in front of him is not at the same level as the previous zombies. It is a mutated and evolved zombie iron arm. He was not given a chance to think at all as the opponent continued to attack fiercely to avenge the lip-cutting grudge. However, Zhongming did not just sit idly by. He countered with a spinning back kick, but Iron Arm just sneered in disdain. The kick didn't even touch its fur. Then it tightly grabbed hold of Zhongming's leg. It exerted all its strength and slammed him onto the ground. Meanwhile, the girl in yellow was already scared out of her wits, begging the girl with short hair to help her. But at that moment, the girl with short hair portrayed human nature vividly. She completely ignored her. On the other side, Zhongming also found himself in a predicament, with life and death hanging by a thread. With a bang, Iron Arm, who was thought to have succeeded, unexpectedly started oozing green blood. It turned out that at the critical moment, Zhongming took out the gun he had used to win the Wheel of Fortune earlier and killed Iron Arm with it. But at that moment, there was a thumping sound coming from the stairs. The gunshot seemed to have attracted other zombies. With Zhongming's current condition, he couldn't hold on for much longer. Just as everyone's faces were filled with panic, unexpectedly Liang Qun arrived. She immediately threw herself into Zhongming's arms. At that moment, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Liang Qun quickly said, "There was a sudden light behind the teaching building. All the zombies went towards the light source." Zhongming's eyes lit up. He had already guessed that there was a new wheel there. Shortly after, the group arrived downstairs. When they saw two students safely coming down the stairs, the teacher with purple hair didn't break her promise. She threw a piece of paper with the address of the Mythic Realm key to Zhongming. And now faced with two choices. One is to find the Mythic Realm key. The other is the new wheel. Considering he was accompanied by two burdens, he couldn't let them know about the key. Therefore, he decided to go to the place Liang Qun mentioned first. But almost all the zombies were inside. After settling a few people, Zhongming took out an 80-meter short knife and walked straight in. When Zhongming entered, the girl with short hair thought he was overestimating himself. In order to protect herself, she grabbed the girl in yellow, convinced her to leave Liang Qun behind. Otherwise, it would be too late once Zhongming provoked the zombies. Inside, Zhongming faced another fierce battle. A group of zombies surrounded him. But facing them armed with knives and guns, Zhongming, they couldn't even last 2 rounds. And Zhongming did not make a wrong judgment. It is indeed a new wheel in front of my eyes. In the near future, people will even rely on lottery to eat canned food. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, the remaining humans can only survive by hunting and killing zombies. Collect crystals to power the wheel in order to supply materials and food. And Zhongming discovered a special wheel during an operation by accident. And this wheel has only 3 colors. Therefore, it is called the 3-color wheel. In addition, there is a more colors wheel with more colors compared to the regular redemption wheel. The more colors wheel is very precious. Firstly, the quantity is 1/5 of the regular wheel. Secondly, it can redeem professions. Not only are there output professions such as blademan and archer, there are also support professions such as pharmacist and gourmet. In a post-apocalyptic world where the weak are prey to the strong, acquiring vocational skills is absolutely essential for survival. And outside the door at this moment, a chilling human drama is unfolding that is scarier than zombies. The short-haired girl rescued by Zhongming shows no gratitude at all. When she saw Zhongming entering the zombie horde to sacrifice himself, she immediately grabbed the girl in yellow and left Liang Qun behind. However, karma struck quickly. When they arrived at a stairwell, they encountered a zombie attack. It was a critical moment. The tease of fate always comes just at the right time. The girl with short hair suddenly fell to the ground. The girl in the yellow shirt immediately turned around and pulled her up. And at that moment, an even more terrifying scene was about to unfold once again. When the girl with short hair shed a tear that resembled a crocodile's eye. She threw the girl in yellow directly at the zombie. Then she ran away without looking back. Shortly after, all that could be heard were the heartbreaking screams coming from the girl in yellow. On the other side, Liang Qun, who was now alone, also encountered danger. These are desperados similar to zombies. In a post-apocalyptic world, where the military has collapsed, desperados are another kind of danger. When Liang Qin was about to be punished on the spot, Huang Maotu suddenly screamed loudly. "It's Yi Zhongming!" He plunged an 80-centimeter short knife directly into his hand. Before Huang Maotu could introduce himself, Yi Zhongming threw a punch with his fist before Huang Maotu could even say a word, plus a Foshan shadowless kick. He quickly took down two opponents. At this moment, the short-haired girl came weeping to Yi Zhongming, sobbing about the misfortune of the girl in yellow. When she heard that Yi Zhongming alone handled the zombie group, she immediately realized that she had a chance to survive only by sticking with Yi Zhongming. Later, Yi Zhongming arranged for the two to go to the location of the wheel first. He took off the crystal on the head of the zombie. He went back to save the fallen teacher Piao, who saw the teacher return safely. The girl with short hair rushed towards her and cried out about the tragic death of the girl in yellow. And she fell ill again, accusing Yi Zhongming of being at fault for not protecting them properly. This directly caused Liang Qin to have a heart attack. But the ending is quite satisfying. Yi Zhongming did not pamper her. "I can save you. I can also send you back." The girl, in order to survive, actually pushed her companion, who came back to rescue her, into the abyss with her own hands. Then she fled without looking back, leaving her companion to bear the heart-wrenching pain alone. After escaping, she even turned around and blamed Yi Zhongming, who saved her, for not protecting them well. But Yi Zhongming did not spoil her. "I can save you out. I can also send you back." Sure enough, zombies are no match for the horror of human nature. The world is truly the best mirror to reflect the demons in human hearts. After a series of farces, Yi Zhongming brought them to the three-color wheel. Let them take out the crystals they just picked from the zombie's head. Different from a regular wheel, the three-color wheel does not count based on the number of crystals, but measures based on the total energy provided by the crystals. Yi Zhongming put 26 crystals he collected into it. Afterwards, the wheel did not disappoint Yi Zhongming. It started spinning as requested. With a ding sound, the wheel stopped at the red area. Then a red box popped out. Seeing one's birth color, Yi Zhongming is full of expectations for a high combat profession. Who would have expected to open it and find an auxiliary profession called honored craftsman? And it's at the lowest level of trainee rank as well. This directly left Yi Zhongming puzzled. He wasted more than 20 crystals to draw this thing, emo directly in place. But he didn't know that the surprise was at the end. The 5 colors on the professional badge represent the 5 skills he possesses at the same time. The chance of drawing them is extremely slim. This directly pumped Yi Zhongming full of chicken blood. So he immediately summoned everyone to continue digging the crystals. But they were unaware that someone was watching them from a distance. It turned out to be Brother Wu, the leader of the 2 fugitives from before. When they saw them removing the crystal from the head of the zombie, he immediately called all his men together. It seems he has already guessed the secret of the crystal. On the other hand, Yi Zhongming handed the supply backpack to Liang Qin for safekeeping. He then used the artisan's forging skill. A delicate wooden spear was thus born. He handed the weapon to them for self-defense. He then set off on the road to find the key to the mythic realm. Soon, Yi Zhongming arrived at the spot where Teacher Piao had seen the fall. Just as he looked around, a woman suddenly fell from the sky. If it weren't for Yi Zhongming's reinforcement, catching her would have been extremely risky. But the woman immediately did a somersault. Then she subdued Yi Zhongming with a grappling move. But obviously, it was like showing a big knife in front of Guangong. She didn't even have a chance to speak. She was immediately subdued by Yi Zhongming's counter-grappling move, combined with a powerful wall slam, and brought under control. Upon finding out that the woman was actually a police officer, Yi Zhongming tactfully let go of her hand. Just as the two were introducing themselves, a dishonorable bullet flew straight towards them. Let Yi Zhongming go further on the path of rescuing the beauty. and the person who fired the gun. It is a death row prisoner, even crazier than the desperado. In the near future, people can't buy a can even with $1 billion. All supplies have to rely on luck. In the end of a world where zombies rampage and armies collapse, the prison guards were being chased and hunted by the death row inmates they were supposed to be watching over. But they were unfortunate to encounter Zhongming. One of the bearded prisoners was planning to go on a killing spree. When he was halfway through speaking, he was shot through the head. The other 2 prisoners immediately reacted. They were planning to suppress fire when they didn't realize that Zhongming had been waiting above them for a long time. Then he made a slow move with his left hand and right hand, taking down the remaining 2 people. The female guard found it difficult to imagine the scene before her. What exactly has a teenager gone through to kill so ruthlessly without hesitation? After dealing with the 3 death row inmates, Zhongming finally began to focus on the main task, finding the key to unlocking the mythic realm and starting a new journey. After briefly describing to the female guard, the 2 began a thorough search. Soon, the female guard delivered good news. Indeed, specialization leads to success. But the next second, when he saw the key in the female guard's hand, Zhongming looked confused. Obviously, he did not match the style of the mythic realm key. Then the female guard casually threw it away. Little did they know that this action would attract an unexpected guest. In the smoking pile of rocks, a creature with a green glowing eye faintly appeared. By the time the 2 noticed something strange, it was already too late. A wolf dog rushed towards Zhongming. It was a second-rank mutant dog. Zhongming immediately drew his gun to deal with it, but it was all too late. The bullets couldn't even reach the mutant dog's tail lights. And so, Zhongming was knocked down to the ground. Then, it opened its bloody mouth, ready to bite. The female guard was also scared by the scene in front of her, and let out a squeal. But the next second, the mutant dog acted as if it had seen its mother, constantly licking Zhongming's face. It kept wagging its tail and shaking its head. This immediately puzzled the 2 people who were still in shock. When Zhongming saw the scars on its tail, he suddenly realized all at once. It turned out to be the stray dog that Zhongming had saved when he was young. People gave him the nickname, Lu Wei Di Huang Pill. She witnessed the unresolved bond between humans and dogs. The female security guard has changed her view on the cold and ruthless Zhongming again. That's it. The man, the woman, and the dog continue to search for the key to the mythic realm. But they are unaware that there is a mysterious and unwelcome guest lurking behind them. And just at this moment, a flash of golden light appeared. Looking at the golden light in front of him, Zhongming could no longer contain the excitement in his heart. He used his long-forgotten excavator skills acquired from graduating from the excavator school. In the end, he saw an ancient key emitting golden light. Sure enough, it's the mythic realm key that matches his temperament. The female guard beside him is busy making him happy without realizing that there's something pink and tender next to her. It is a giant mutated lizard. By the time the female guard reacts, it's already too late. And what awaits her is a big mouth full of sharp teeth. In the near future, the once adorable little dog. Most of the dogs have turned into wolfhounds, with bones protruding outward. And 90% of humans have turned into unconscious zombies. The remaining people rely on a wheel of fortune to obtain supplies. And Zhongming has just found the key to unlock the mythic realm, where the future lies. They were suddenly attacked by a mutated giant lizard, wrapping its pink tongue around the female guard, preparing for a meal. Zhongming suddenly appeared and swiftly sliced the unruly little tongue in half. Fortunately, he had utilized the strengthening skill of the craftsman profession in advance. He reinforced the 80-meter short knife. Otherwise, he couldn't even move this thick-skinned little cutie. The giant lizard, whose tongue was cut off, was thoroughly enraged. Its sharp claws were poised to strike. And at this moment, the Di Huang pill dashed out and bit down fiercely on one of the fingers. It bought time for Zhongming to counterattack. Yi Zhongming then lifted the 80-meter short sword in his hand. Then he ruthlessly stabbed into the giant lizard's carzalin eye. Soon, a gush of blood spurted out, causing the giant lizard to scream in pain. Yi Zhongming was also panting heavily, fighting against the colossal creature. His physical exertion was quite astonishing. The gigantic lizard did not give him a chance to catch his breath, seeking revenge against Yi Zhongming regardless of its own pain. Just at that moment, the Di Huang pill blocked in front of Yi Zhongming. Then it roared furiously, as a battle between the dog and the lizard loomed on the horizon. The gigantic lizard took the initiative, lunging at the Di Huang pill, but the Di Huang pill swiftly dodged with remarkable speed and fiercely sank its stainless steel teeth into the gigantic lizard. But the difference in size was a disadvantage. With a gentle shake of its head, the gigantic lizard easily tossed the Di Huang pill into the air. Then it unleashed another dragon tail sweep, slamming the Di Huang pill straight down to the ground. The pill, heavily struck, lost its initial momentum, looking a bit weary. While the pill weakened, the gigantic lizard became more and more courageous. It raised its claws, intending to settle the matter with the Di Huang pill. And just at that moment, Yi Zhongming once again wielded his 80-meter short blade to block its claws. But this was still futile. In just 3 seconds, he was thrown aside. Then, the giant lizard opened its huge mouth. Tears of helplessness flowed directly from its mouth. Suddenly, a 100-meter-long steel bar burst out without any mercy. From the top of the giant lizard, it was stabbed from bottom to top, piercing its skull. It was a female security guard who had been diving for a long time. After confirming with a glance, the giant lizard finally died of depression. Yi Zhongming emerged from the head of the giant lizard. Dig out a crystal. This immediately attracted the attention of the female guard. And Yi Zhongming's purpose was to use the secret of the crystal to seduce the female guard into teaming up with him. In the apocalypse, every additional unit of combat power means an extra glimmer of hope for survival. But he seemed to have underestimated the pride of the people's guards. The little boat of friendship can capsize at any moment. Helpless, Yi Zhongming had to activate the backup plan. Since ancient times, true affection can change a person's heart. After a thorough examination by the female guard, she finally said her name is Yi, and also expressed that she accepted Yi Zhongming's invitation. But they were unaware that at that moment, 2 people were secretly watching them. In the near future, people will regard money as dirt. In its place is this kind of crystal. Because in the post-apocalyptic world, where zombies roam and animals mutate, people have to rely on spinning the wheel even for what they eat. And crystals are the key to driving the wheel. Just now, Yi Zhongming and Yi worked together to defeat the mutated giant lizard. When they dug out a crystal, behind them, 2 people were sneakingly watching them, planning to quietly deal with Yi Zhongming and his companion. But just then, Yi Zhongming's Di Huang pill suddenly shot out and fiercely bit one of them on the hand. Incompetent tears streamed directly from the nose. Meanwhile, Yi appeared behind the other person unnoticed. When he noticed, it's about to enter the stage of lying on the board. Just like that, taking down 2 people easily. Under Yi Zhongming's pressure, I found out who was behind them. It was the fugitive leader Brother Wu, who was previously monitoring him. After learning the truth, Yi Zhongming didn't say a word and chose to directly attack Brother Wu's stronghold. On the other side, Liang Chuyin and a few others stayed in the office waiting for Yi Zhongming to return. At this moment, the girl with short hair suddenly opened her eyes, holding a polished glass shard with a malicious expression. She glared fiercely at Liang Chuyin, intending to deal with her secretly, and then steal the bag of supplies Yi Zhongming had entrusted to her. However, her plan was disrupted when Teacher Piao suddenly got up from the bed. Just then, they heard banging noises on the iron gate, resembling the arrival of intruders. This frightened the 3 of them, causing them to tremble in fear. Soon enough, the iron gate gave way under the pressure, and the person knocking on the door was Brother Wu's henchman. Seeing such a scene, the girl with short hair didn't say a word and ran off first as a sign of respect. Liang Chuyin and Teacher Piao could only anticipate the consequences. But at this moment, the back door was also very powerful. It did not give the girl with short hair a chance to escape. She ended up with the same fate. However, when a person is at their lowest, they are invincible. The girl with short hair demonstrated her skill of betraying in the blink of an eye to the fullest. In order to show her loyalty, she even took revenge on Liang Chuyin fiercely. Brother Dongzi found this situation very amusing. However, these fugitives also harbored their own sinister intentions in secret. The leader Brother Dongzi has long refused to follow Brother Wu's command. He encouraged everyone to rebel. Then they returned to their base. When they saw Brother Wu was not there, they decided to ambush him. But they didn't know that. At this moment, Brother Wu, who had inspected Zhongming before, had already learned the secret of the crystal. He was quietly picking at the crystal with a trusted follower. On Brother Dongzi's side, a sudden situation occurred. He was hit by a chicken bone as soon as he stepped inside the door. It turns out it was Zhongming. Seeing the prey deliver itself to the door, how could Brother Dongzi possibly let him go? So he directly dragged Liang Chuyin out. He intended to use this to blackmail Zhongming, but he hadn't finished speaking. Zhongming suddenly rushed up to him. The boy was betrayed by his own teammates. After he stopped breathing, he unexpectedly found himself reborn 10 years ago. It was when the zombie virus was about to break out. In his previous life, he was very cowardly, which led to missing the early stage of brutal growth. With the cheat codes, Zhongming, starting over again, immediately grasped the key to the apocalyptic world. He drew a strengthening potion through the Wheel of Fortune. Facing low-level zombies and desperate thugs, Zhongming had no pressure at all. Surprisingly, Brother Dongzi dared to threaten him to kneel down using Liang Chuyin. That man's handsomeness only lasted for 3 seconds. In the second second, he was stabbed in the arm by Zhongming with a stainless steel pipe. He managed to save Liang Chuyin in the 3rd second. Brother Dongzi at that moment felt his soul being violated. He immediately called his men to surround Zhongming, only to see Zhongming's eyes glowing red. The legendary sandbag-sized fist was already in position. With one punch, 6 teeth were knocked out. Then he struck a pose just like Ip Man. I want to fight 10 of them. Spin. Jump. I close my eyes. After a simple line of lyrics, the crowd of little minions immediately begged for mercy on the ground. And at this moment, Brother Dongzi is going further down the path of seeking death, blooming for the 2nd time. He used Teacher Piao again to blackmail Zhongming into kneeling. But he overlooked the short-haired girl behind him, who doesn't back down easily. Seeing Zhongming return, the short-haired girl, who was about to switch sides in a split second, turned her gun towards him again. But man proposes, God disposes. Brother Dongzi eventually did a good deed as well. He helped Zhongming clean up the blood stasis in the team. Then he slipped, and eventually fell to the ground and couldn't get up. At this point, several people can finally relax their tense nerves. But they do not know that on the other side, Brother Wu has already collected enough crystals, successfully activating the 3-color wheel. Shortly after, a yellow scroll floated towards Brother Wu, and an old man sprang out from the scroll. Then with a ding sound, it was announced that Brother Wu had changed jobs to basic pharmacist. Brother Wu, who was full of anticipation, immediately cursed out loud. What a broken thing! But he didn't know. The surprise was yet to come. Xiao Huantu found the supplies backpack that Liang Chuyin had missed. When he saw a test tube containing medicine, suddenly, its detailed information was displayed next to it. He just then understood the usefulness of the pharmacist profession. At the same time, he also understood the fundamental reason why Zhongming is so strong. Brother Wu then felt emotionally choked. When the medicine slid down the intestines to the buttocks, there was a feeling of being electrically shocked straight to the top of the head. Only Brother Wu's bulging veins and ferocious expression were visible. Occasionally white smoke would emanate from his buttocks. The whole person seemed to be burning in fierce flames. Little Huang was so panicked when he saw it that he immediately went to find help. However, as soon as he arrived at the door, a fist the size of a sand pot blocked his way. Upon closer inspection, he found that it was actually a mutated zombie beast. Before he could regain his composure, the zombie beast had already raised its fist. In the moment of impending doom, Little Huang kept silently praying in his heart for Ultraman to come and help him. Sure enough, a miracle happened. But the arrival was not Ultraman. The arrival was the enhanced Brother Wu. This muscular man suddenly shed purple tears. Just because he secretly drank a bottle of purple cola earlier. His body felt like it was struck by lightning, constantly emitting smoke. Not only that, the sudden appearance of the zombie beast made things even worse for them. Just as the zombie beast raised its fist the size of a sand pot, the muscular Brother Wu stepped forward at a crucial moment. He managed to withstand the zombie beast's pot-sized fist with just 5 fingers. The disdain and arrogance in his eyes were palpable. And the next second, the zombie beast was slain on the spot. The already arrogant Brother Wu became even more unruly. But he was unaware of it. The resources he painstakingly gathered have already been swept clean by Yi Zhongming and others. Yi Zhongming and a few others brought supplies back to Mu Sinfai's villa. They planned to introduce Mu Sinfai to them. But upon entering, they found the villa in a mess. There was a blood handprint and a note left on the refrigerator. This is the message left by Mu Sinfai for Yi Zhongming. Tell him that the supermarket has new wheels. After Yi Zhongming and a few others took a short break, they set out to find Mu Sinfai and the new wheels. And at that moment, Mo Yi began to fulfill the role of a good guard for the people. She took out the most precious treasure of the Guard Bureau, equipped with A-grade protective functions. It is the best choice for escape in this post-apocalyptic era. Encountering zombies feels much better than playing GTA 6. The tactile experience is so much more immersive. But the next second, a large wave of zombies kept coming at them. However, they looked more like they were panic-stricken and trying to run away. Sure enough, there was a big guy chasing them from behind. The newcomer turned out to be a mutated white ape. At this moment, Yi Zhongming's face darkened. He knew very well that their current strength would be hard-pressed to confront it. But it was already too late. White Ape had noticed them. Yi Zhongming immediately shifted into reverse gear and sped off in retreat. But unfortunately, he had been taught to drive by a math teacher. He crashed into a utility pole in no time. Before they could even report to the insurance, White Ape leaped over. It smashed fiercely towards the front of the car. Yi Zhongming locked eyes with Yi Zhongming. But the next second, Yi Zhongming immediately went crazy and turned the steering wheel. A dragon-like sidestep, trying to make White Ape dizzy. But it didn't work as he wished. So Yi Zhongming let Mo Yi take over the driving. And he was imitating Jackie Chan, the big brother. He stepped out of the car and gave White Ape a kick. But while the praying mantis hunts the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind, White Ape's tail quietly twined around Yi Zhongming's leg. He forcibly pulled Yi Zhongming out of the car and threw him heavily onto the ground. If Yi Zhongming hadn't taken the strengthening potion, this move probably would have taken him away. It stared at Yi Zhongming lying on the ground unable to move. White Ape revealed a satisfied smile. Then it displayed a victorious posture. After pounding its chest twice, it was preparing to deliver the final blow to Yi Zhongming. But just at that moment, White Ape suddenly came under attack. The boy was driving without underwear. He was pulled out of the car by a White Ape, thrown fiercely on the ground, just as the White Ape was about to give him a pair of underwear. Suddenly, 3 gunshots from behind stopped it. Our people are good guards, Mo Yi. White Ape, whose underwear delivery skill was interrupted, let out a roar. Then it rushed towards Mo Yi within 7 steps. The gun was just for show. In less than 3 seconds, White Ape arrived in front of Mo Yi. The thick-skinned White Ape is not afraid of Mo Yi's bullets at all. Instead, the bullets only enrage it even more. With a roar, the White Ape kept shaking the military truck, throwing Teacher Piao inside onto the ground. Then it raised its small paws and swiped at Teacher Piao. Anyone who sees it would feel the pain. And at this moment, a whistle sound came from nearby. The whistle sound instantly caught Whiteape's attention. It's Yi Zhongming and Di Huangpil. Only to see Di Huangpil directly charging towards a difficulty level as high as 5.2. Ants climbing a tree. Moved by Whiteape. In the blink of an eye, it climbed to the top of Whiteape's head. After a roar from it, it harshly bit onto the Whiteape's back, causing it to continuously spin around trying to shake off the Di Huangpil. At this moment, Yi Zhongming made a sudden dash forward. Yi threw the gun to him. He then performed a somersault and landed, taking the pistol. He immediately used the weapon enhancement technique from his craftsman skill. Upgrade the pistol's penetration and stability. And at this moment, the Di Huangpil is in a dilemma. It was mercilessly knocked away by the Whiteape to 100 meters away. Just as Whiteape was preparing to beat up the single dog, Yi Zhongming stopped it with a gun. And before Whiteape could react, he directly shot the white bone on its back. The Whiteape, who should have had thick skin and strong flesh, instantly collapsed on the ground. It turned out that the vital point of the Whiteape was its spinal bone on the back. After dealing with the Whiteape, Yi Zhongming immediately checked on the situation of Liang Chuyin and the others. He accidentally witnessed a scene that children shouldn't see. Due to Teacher Piao's deep wound, physical sutures are needed. However, the key anesthetic is currently lacking. So Yi Zhongming decided to split up. Yi, who is more agile, was tasked with continuing to explore the supermarket. He himself took the remaining 2 people to search for medical supplies nearby. He soon arrived at a community hospital. Yi Zhongming just rushed in. A haze appeared before his eyes. He was suddenly attacked. After the haze dispersed, in front of me is actually an ape turtle crocodile, different from other mutated creatures. The ape turtle crocodile does not belong to Earth. It is an extraterrestrial being that came with the apocalypse, collectively known as the guardian beast. Places with guardian beasts often have special material rewards. But with Yi Zhongming's current combat power, he is not yet a match for it. And Teacher Piao is also barely hanging on outside. But this is also the only way to enter the medicine storage room. Just as he was in a dilemma, a sly idea suddenly emerged. In the near future, even the little puppies will look like this. The teeth of the gorilla will also grow outward. Not only that, the crocodile also carries a large turtle shell. It has become an ape turtle crocodile. Yi Zhongming knows he is no match for it. But he must pass through its location in order to get the medicine to save people. So he came up with a plan to capture it with wisdom. He took out a pile of ordinary bows and arrows and iron nails. He activated his own craftsmanship skills. He merged the homogeneous main materials together. In the end, a shiny golden bow and arrow was born. Additionally, a large metal net is also required. This requires the artisan skill of inlaying. It involves merging and using 2 completely different materials. So Yi Zhongming synthesized a metal mesh using iron wire and environmentally friendly mesh. After all preparations were ready, he immediately got to work, placing 3 sharp arrows in each corner. The large net formed successfully suppressed the movements of ape turtle crocodile. And Yi Zhongming took advantage of this opening to immediately rush into the medicine storage. He searched for appropriate medical supplies. But he still underestimated the ape turtle crocodile, which broke free from the large net with just a struggle. Appeared behind Yi Zhongming. Fortunately, Yi Zhongming was quick-witted. He blocked the door in time to escape a disaster. But at the same time, he also blocked the escape route. At this time, ape turtle crocodile roared angrily, constantly scratching the iron door with sharp claws. The piercing sound reached Liang Chuyin's ears. Then she rushed into the hospital regardless of everything. She found an alligator with a tortoiseshell on its back scratching at the door incessantly. She thought to herself, Yi Zhongming must be trapped inside. Yi Zhongming's situation is not optimistic. Ape Turtle Crocodile broke the window of the pharmacy. The breach is only a matter of time. And just at this moment, Yi Zhongming saw that Liang Chuyin was actually hiding in the back. 1,000 grass mud horses surged out in her heart. How did this stupid woman get in? And at this point, the situation has already reached a critical stage. Ape Turtle Crocodile is only one step away from capturing. On the other side, Liang Chuyin found 3 eggs not far away. So she came up with a plan. This is the only way to save Yi Zhongming. She only saw her running towards the egg at the fastest speed. Then she shouted at the Ape Turtle Crocodile. She successfully attracted its attention and swiftly rushed towards Liang Chuyin to buy time for Yi Zhongming to escape. But Liang Chuyin was already in imminent danger. The Ape Turtle Crocodile swiftly arrived in front of her like a bolt from the blue. Just at the moment it reached out its claws. Liang Chuyin remained calm in the face of danger. She chose to go after its eggs. Let the 3 eggs roll in different directions. And she ultimately made the right bet. That's it. The 2 of them successfully escaped from danger without any major risks. After helping Teacher Piao deal with the wound, he is going to meet up with Mo Yi to investigate the supermarket. But they don't know that Brother Wu, who has been strengthened, stumbled upon it by accident. They found the wheel in Newmanhwa supermarket before him, and at this time, Mo Yi also arrived at this supermarket after a thorough investigation. As expected, the red thread of destiny brought them together again. In the near future, people have to rely on lottery to eat a hot dog sausage. In a world where zombies roam, the wheel becomes the key to survival in the apocalypse. Strengthened Brother Wu all in the near future. People have to rely on lottery to eat a hot dog sausage. In a world where zombies roam, the wheel becomes the key to survival in the apocalypse. Strengthened Brother Wu also learned this secret. He unexpectedly found a new wheel. He also encountered Mo Yi, who parted ways with Yi Zhongming. As expected, Brother Wu, who had consumed the strengthening potion, faced no pressure against Mo Yi of the People's Guards. He gently punched her, sending her flying hundreds of miles away. But Mo Yi is not to be underestimated. She countered with a flawless series of kicks, landing without a splash. She managed to interrupt Brother Wu's attack. In addition, she used a set of Wing Chun moves personally taught by Ip Man to make Brother Wu stagger back a few steps. However, such attacks were like scratching an itch for the strengthened Brother Wu. As expected, Brother Wu quickly gained the upper hand, making Mo Yi cough up a mouthful of blood. And just as Brother Wu raised his fist, prepared to finish off Mo Yi's mouth unexpectedly revealed a sly smile. It turns out Yi Zhongming had suddenly appeared behind Brother Wu. He used a Bagwazang move and sent Brother Wu flying. Brother Wu took several steps back before stabilizing himself. Seeing that the approaching person was actually Yi Zhongming, if this had happened before, Brother Wu might have been quite wary. But now, having also consumed strengthening potions, he is on the same starting line as Yi Zhongming. He settled Mo Yi, who was injured, and Yi Zhongming's expression darkened as he stared sternly at Brother Wu before Brother Wu could even introduce himself. Yi Zhongming stepped forward to launch an attack at him. But Brother Wu is not an easy target either. He swiftly dodged Yi Zhongming's fierce punch with a sidestep. He then countered with a punch as big as a sand pot. At this moment, Yi Zhongming only realized that Brother Wu had also drunk the strengthening potion. He became a one-star warrior just like himself. But if he thinks he can be on par with Yi Zhongming like this, he is greatly mistaken. Yi Zhongming, who has been reborn, has 10 more years of combat experience than him. Yi Zhongming dodged Brother Wu's punch with one swift move. Then he landed a fierce punch right at his kidney. Then came the oncoming attack. It's a punch. Brother Wu was completely out of breath from the punch. He immediately knelt down and begged for mercy. However, he quietly took out a folded army knife from his hand. Wait until Yi Zhongming turned and left. He launched a direct sneak attack from behind. But the result was self-evident. Yi Zhongming dodged with a quick move, causing him to lose his balance and fall forward. Then came a crisp and pleasant sound of bone shattering. Zhongming forcibly broke his hand. Then he punched and ruptured the liver and intestines. The nearby little yellow head immediately came to help Brother Wu up, and then leapt in front of Zhongming. Mo Yi looked puzzled at Zhongming, wondering why he didn't eradicate the problem once and for all. But Zhongming just sneered. There's no need for me to take action. These two, good brothers, will soon bring about their own downfall. Sure enough, once out of Zhongming's sight, the little yellow head snatched Brother Wu's crystal. Then he smirked and casually pushed him into the group of zombies. In the near future, people have to rely on a lottery just to eat a sausage in the near future. In a world overrun by zombies, the wheel becomes the key to survival in the apocalypse. To resolve the little episode with Brother Wu, Zhongming exchanged all the valuable items in the new wheel. He then started planning his team. In the end times, the more strength, the more hope for survival. Zhongming distributed the enhanced potion he drew to 3 people. After drinking it, they all felt the side effects of enhanced cells. After giving 2 instructions, Zhongming started to go back to the hospital. He was ready to take down Ape Turtle Crocodile, because in his pre-rebirth memories, Ape Turtle Crocodile was guarding a piece of paper and its egg. And it is rumored that the paper records a schematic for crafting a type of blade weapon. Now he is determined. But this time, a detailed plan is necessary. He first cleans up the nearby zombies to prevent any unexpected situations. He then plans to use his craftsmanship skills to strengthen his equipment. Although this time he drew a good gun from the wheel, it is only at the grade level. The power is not sufficient. Then he can only work on the bullets. The claw tips he extracted from the lizard before will come in handy. He can make armor-piercing bullets by integrating the bullets with the claw tips. Penetration and lethality are greatly enhanced. Arrange the Di Huang pill after the airing. He then jumped down to start sniping the Ape Turtle Crocodile. At this time, the Ape Turtle Crocodile was taking a nap. But the sudden appearance of the red coat instantly made it more alert. Then it jumped up directly, rushing towards Zhongming's red coat. Indeed, the intelligence was accurate. The Ape Turtle Crocodile is quite sensitive to the color red. Zhongming then threw the coat into the sky, instantly drawing all its attention towards it. Then Zhongming shot at its abdomen. He found that the bullet, as he expected, was able to perfectly penetrate the thick armor of the Ape Turtle Crocodile. At this point, the Ape Turtle Crocodile was thoroughly enraged. It slapped Zhongming. See how it didn't hold back. The following attack was a series of furious wind claws. But all its attacks were blocked one by Zhongming. He then leaped, landing on the tail of the Ape Turtle Crocodile. He then leaped again, springing towards the head of the Ape Turtle Crocodile. He raised the 80-meter short sword in his hand. With a click, the short sword lodged directly between its upper and lower jaws. Then he took out the armor-piercing handgun he had prepared. He aimed at the throat of the Ape Turtle Crocodile. With a bang, the Ape Turtle Crocodile instantly lost vital signs. After Zhongming put on his signature red coat, he walked towards the spoils. Sure enough, a glowing scroll appeared before him. This weapon actually contains both a passive skill and an active skill. Moreover, the final stage is even a rare purple level. Having skills on the weapon is already considered top-notch. And this knife is not only purple level, but also has 2 skills. That is approaching an epic grade. In the near future, people need to draw lots to drink a bottle of mineral water. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, wheels become the key to survival. Zhongming, who has been reborn, brings with him 10 years of survival experience and memories from another world. He easily defeats the guardian beast Ape Turtle Crocodile and obtains a priceless artifact forging book. However, with his current strength, he can only complete the first phase of forging. Additionally, there are 3 eggs left behind by the Ape Turtle Crocodile. Consuming them can enhance one's physique for humans, and possibly induce evolution for pets. So Yi Zhongming immediately called for the Di Huang pill. He cooked one of the eggs and gave it to the cat to eat. Sure enough, after eating it, Yi Zhongming clearly felt his physical strength double. After taking the Di Huang pill, it unexpectedly evolved into a level 2 exotic pet. It also gained new innate skills. At the command of Yi Zhongming, the fur of the Di Huang pill's dog stands on end. Then the dog's fur transformed into dense thorns, quickly and violently shooting forward. Everyone was amazed at the talent attack of Di Huang pill. It turned out to be a hair attack with fine needles and threads. Although the power is good, it's quite costly in terms of fur. Di Huang pill was instructed to continue eating eggs. Yi Zhongming then found an abandoned hospital to start the first phase of artifact forging. Following the requirements in the forging book, Yi Zhongming activated his crafting skills. Thoroughly dissolve and refine a small car, then inject it into their own 80-meter short sword. Next, merge the claws and teeth of 8 turtle crocodile, along with a level 2 magic crystal, onto the short sword. With a loud bang, a white light column soared straight into the sky. The first stage of lunar blade forging has been successfully completed. Yi Zhongming waved it casually. He directly split a 50-meter thick iron pipe in half. The sharpness is self-evident. After completing the task, Yi Zhongming took the boiled eggs back to give to Liang Chuyin and the others. Those who drank the strengthening potion quickly adapted to the world of the undead. Fighting zombies and digging for crystals also became easier. Yi Zhongming's early investment in them was not in vain. So the 2 women and a dog used egg liquid to cook at the stove. Teacher Piao immediately felt her physical fitness improving again. At this moment, Yi Zhongming interrupted them, only to see him handing a purple wisteria whip to Liang Chuyin. Later, Liang Chuyin waved left, waved right, waved up, and waved down, fully showcasing her gymnastic skills to the fullest. This is simply tailor-made for Liang Chuyin. Compared to Teacher Piao, Yi Zhongming has not figured out what weapon to give her yet. You can't just make a box of chalk to throw at her. Moe has some things to deal with, and will temporarily leave the team. After settling everything, Yi Zhongming earnestly said to the 2 of them, "The next place we are heading to will have a huge number of zombies and powerful monsters. We will also face attacks from similar creatures. Because the place they are about to go to is Pearl Lake. And in the lake, there is a wheel with a gold ingot. In the near future, people need to draw lots even if they eat instant noodles. In the apocalyptic world plagued by zombies, wheels have become a key to survival." Yi Zhongming, who has come back to life. He carries 10 years of apocalyptic experience and memories with him. He is simply a walking BUG. In his memory, there is a golden ingot wheel in the water of Pearl Lake that can be powered by just one level 1 magic crystal. Once activated, you will receive a quest prompt. After completing it, there will be rich rewards. It can be said, he who possesses it rules the world. However, rewards and risks coexist. In the previous battle for dominance, only extreme bloodshed can describe it. Sure enough, another organization with forces gathered by the lake. The leader is a middle-aged man surnamed Yi, wearing a long robe. The thug next to him, Wang Ding, has even reached the level of a 2-star warrior in strength. At this time, Yi Zhongming did not rush to get involved. Instead, he watched the situation in the lake from a distance. The current situation was only suitable for using strategy. So, he began to assign tasks to the 2 girls. Liang Chuyin is responsible for observation. If a little monster carrying a golden bag appears, notify him. Teacher Piao is responsible for reporting the battlefield situation. They found a relatively high point to watch the movements of the small monster. And Yi Zhongming will be lurking in a nearby building, waiting for an opportunity to act. He ordered the 2 of them to inform him immediately once they found the target, and not to act alone. Although the little monster has poor abilities, it can summon many mutant creatures. And at this moment, a dazzling light shines from the lake not far away. The treasure wheel is officially activated. Yi Zhongming and others immediately split up and act separately. The armed group searching along the lake also took a few steps back. Qin Xiaobo, who was leading the group, was momentarily stunned. Because what appeared in front of them was precisely the small monster mentioned by Yi Zhongming. It leisurely picked up the horn beside it, and then played a melody of Breaking East Wind. Qin Xiaobo's face darkened. He had a sense of ominous foreboding in his heart. Sure enough, the guard team noticed something unusual. It turns out there is a large wave of zombies heading towards the lake. And Leader Yi is a leader in the brainwashing industry. He can inspire the fiery fighting spirit of the armed group with just a few words. And at this moment, Yi Zhongming is quietly watching them from the corner. It seems like he is waiting for something. Sure enough, in the forest not far away, a vortex resembling a black hole appeared. Finally arrived. Opened through the desolate space passage. The original horn can not only summon zombies, but also open the desolate space passage. Summon more powerful alien beasts. Yi Zhongming immediately rushed to the rooftop at this moment. He saw a black hole right in front of him. And just at this moment, a big hand stretched out from the black hole. It turned out to be a level 43 corpse ape. Yi Zhongming was no longer calm at this point. It seems that there is a slight deviation from his previous understanding. But in comparison, Yi Zhongming is more focused on another creature. It is the fearful sheep that walks on foot. In the near future, people even need to rely on a wheel lottery to eat a steamed bun. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, fighting over the wheel has become the key to survival and power. Especially this lucrative treasure wheel has caught the attention of various factions. Yi Zhongming, who is reborn with memories of the past decade in the apocalypse, is like a walking cheat code. He focuses his attention on a walking goat-like monster. According to memory, there is a priceless sheep treasure inside the body of this goat. Now, 3 men are being chased by it. They happen to come to Yi Zhongming for help. A fierce battle between humans and goats is about to break out. Yi Zhongming takes the initiative to attack the goat. He leaped onto the back of fearful sheep in one jump. As soon as he landed, he made a strike. Fearful sheep howled in pain. But Yi Zhongming paid no attention. Instead, he showed an even more sinister look in his eyes. The 3 men who were chased just now were all in disbelief. It's clear that Yi Zhongming is also a 1-star warrior like him. Why is there such a difference? While fearful sheep struggles desperately, jumping up and down trying to shake off Yi Zhongming firmly grabs its backstab. Then he slashed again. Fearful sheep's tears of incompetence flowed directly from its mouth. Subsequently, it began to jump frantically. Just like you trying to swat a fly in front of your phone. Yi Zhongming was also thrown around to the point where even his hairstyle was messed up. But there was no sign of it slowing down at all. Instead, it kept moving quickly. The splashing gravel kept hitting Yi Zhongming's face. It suddenly stopped walking for a while. It gasped for breath. It turned its head to look at Yi Zhongming, who was clinging to its back like a piece of toffee. Yi Zhongming took the opportunity to leap down from its back. But the next second, fearful sheep's enormous hoof loomed over Yi Zhongming's head. With a loud bang. If Yi Zhongming hadn't been nimble, he would have turned into a kite. Yi Zhongming adjusted his posture slightly and crouched down, in a stance like a drawn bow ready to release an arrow. Sure enough, his eyes glowed red with a chilling killing intent. He raised the 80-centimeter short knife in his hand. He gathered his strength and leaped forward, thrusting directly at fearful sheep's lower abdomen. After receiving a fatal blow, fearful sheep walked away with unrecognizable footsteps. In the end, there was no way to make a comeback, and he fell to the ground unable to get up. After seeing fearful sheep being truly knocked down, the 3 people who had just run away came out again. And they even showed their ugly side of humanity. They dared to say they wanted to take half of Yi Zhongming's credit. Especially when they saw that his hand was injured. No matter how you count it, they always have the upper hand in numbers. One of them, in particular, was extremely arrogant. When he saw Yi Zhongming farting, he immediately grabbed a stick and lunged towards Zhongming. But the next second, the hand holding the stick fell to the ground. Before the leader had a chance to react, Zhongming directly kicked him. The powerful force caused the remaining two people to have fractures. Zhongming took out Yang Bao self-consciously. He then left without looking back. He continued to chase after the final goal of this mission. And what awaits the three of them is to be divided by zombies. In the near future, people need to rely on the wheel to draw lots when they drink a bottle of pure mountain spring water. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, fighting for the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. Zhongming, who is reborn with 10 years of post-apocalyptic memories, is like a walking cheat code. Zhongming resolves the issue of fearful sheep. He continues to chase after the little monster carrying a money bag. Under Teacher Piao's guidance, Zhongming learned that the little monster had arrived at a candy house. After he looked around carefully, he found a pile of ants surrounding a wooden house. It should be here, barring any unexpected events. When Zhongming approached, a familiar trumpet sound suddenly came. How is this possible? The little monster from the previous life shouldn't be like this. Because in his memory, the little monster should only blow the horn once. And this is already the second time. The horn sound stops. The black hole makes a sizzling noise. Zhongming has a sense of foreboding. The appearance of level 4 to 3 corpse ape itself already made Zhongming feel abrupt. Before he could regain his thoughts, a big foot stepped out of the black hole. It could be vaguely seen that chains were wrapped around its body. The green horns on its head were particularly conspicuous. As the outline became clearer, Zhongming was shocked at this moment. How is this possible? The visitor turned out to be the chained prisoner from the previous life. It is one of the few absolutely powerful beings. Currently, the green crystal on its forehead indicates that it is now a level 4 alien beast. But not for long. It will continue to evolve. It became one of the first known level 9 exotic beasts to humans. Initially, it was almost invincible. Fortunately, there was the 9 stars powerhouse Mu Sinfei at that time. She had to join forces with several powerhouses to barely defeat it. And that battle was also the battle where Mu Sinfei rose to fame. According to Zhongming's current strength, this thing is still to be admired from afar and not to be messed with. For now, he needs to first capture the little monsters. Later, Zhongming arrived at the candy house mentioned by Teacher Piao, but found it deserted. He was just about to contact her. Suddenly, a gunshot is heard from the back door. It's the person surnamed Yi from the armed group. He has found that all the bags behind the little monsters are filled with good stuff. The leader with a bowl cut nervously called Leader Yi for support using a pager. Meanwhile, the little monster was still happily riding on an ant, darting around everywhere. But his glory only lasted for 3 seconds. By the second, he was shot. Bolcut looked excited. He was about to seize the opportunity and pursue the enemy. Zhongming suddenly rushed out. Before they could react, he is a hook expert. Lower hook. Left hook. Right hook coming up. Then he directly rushed towards the direction where the little monster was fleeing. More and more people know the secret. We must act swiftly. After Zhongming left, Bolcut immediately reported to Leader Yi. And Zhongming scanned the surroundings after a moment. He finally found the little monster lying in a pile of rubble eating chicken legs. After scrutinizing for a moment Zhongming, he immediately rushed to its chicken legs. In the near future, people have to rely on wheel lottery even just to smoke a cigarette. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies rampage, fighting for the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. Zhongming, who is reborn with 10 years of post-apocalyptic memories, is like a walking cheat code. The melee to grab the treasure-filled wheel enters a white-hot stage. Zhongming has quietly appeared in front of the little monster. The little monster calmly pats the ants, but letting it deal with Zhongming. He was surprised to see that this big ant turned out to be a level 2 ant leader. Then he brandished the 80-meter short knife in his hand, blocking its fierce attacks. But the next second, the ant leader suddenly spit out a green, unidentified substance from its mouth. This caught Zhongming off guard. If not for his good waist, good legs, and good kidneys, this sneak attack would probably have taken his life. The Zhongming who had recovered his senses did not give it a chance to escape. Instead, he made a swift stroke towards its wings. The short knife, which had been tempered, was extremely sharp. The stroke passed smoothly, as if cutting through a cake. The ant leader, deprived of its wings, instantly lost its balance and crashed to the ground with a loud bang. Following that, Zhongming directly thrust the knife into its small head. Twist it a little more. Lick it a bit. Soak it for a while. Then, he coldly looked at the little monster in front of him. At this moment, the little monster instantly felt that the chicken leg in its hand was no longer tasty. It looked around nervously, wanting to escape. It looked at Zhongming with a sly smile that seemed to be both laughing and not. The little monster quickly put its hand into the bag behind its back and grabbed something to throw at Zhongming. When Zhongming saw that the item thrown at him was actually a scroll, he couldn't help but be greatly surprised. This turned out to be a basic summoning scroll. This is a very popular summoning skill in the virtual world. He didn't expect that the random things the monster threw away were extremely valuable. The little monster saw that the sneak attack didn't work. The cold sweat on its face increased. Then, he got another scroll. My goodness! It turned out to be a promotion scroll. In his past life, Zhongming almost lost his life for this. Now, it's being tossed around like garbage. This has made Zhongming happy in an instant. Next, the little monster continued its rampage of smashing precious treasures and attacking Zhongming, until a professional certificate landed in Zhongming's hands. He opened it and found that it was actually a profession called gardener. It is somewhat similar to his previous occupation, honored craftsman. It's not just a single occupational skill. It possesses both the cultivation and activation skills. The ability to plant food crops in the apocalypse is truly invaluable. Under Zhongming's tyranny, the little monsters at this time were already trembling with fear. It hit him with something again. When Zhongming wanted to reach out and catch it again, he found out that there was a trick in it. He immediately dodged to the side. The following was the booming sound of an explosion. When the smoke cleared, in front of him appeared a shiny green monster. In the near future, people even have to rely on Wheel to smoke a cigarette. In the apocalyptic world where zombies roam, Wheel struggles to become the key to survival and power. Reborn Zhongming has rich information, like a walking cheat code. Showed great advantage in snatching monster treasure, but when it was about to be obtained, he was then blocked by the green monster summoned by it. The fluorescence on the monster's body was still strongly corrosive. At that moment, Zhongming was caught off guard. But just as easily as he succeeded, he could also fail. Fortunately, the monster gave him a summoning scroll skill beforehand. He then crushed the scroll in his hand. Zhongming successfully mastered the summoning scroll skill and inserted his hand into the pool of water. A wave surged in the pool. Swish! A muscular monster appeared behind Zhongming. Immediately, a stream of water burst from the jar, directly hitting the green monster. It kept emitting white smoke with a sizzling sound. One green and one blue were entangled together like this. Without any support at all, the little monster was sweating profusely. When all else fails, running away is the best plan. But at this moment, Bull Cut and his companions stood in front of it. The group opened fire on them, suppressing them with overwhelming firepower. This put Zhongming at an instant disadvantage. Zhongming saw the juicy meat about to fly away from his mouth. He once again used the Jackie Chan possession technique, coupled with precise figure outlines of his opponent's body. Zhongming successfully knocked down several people. Then he took advantage of the chaos to catch the little monster. In contrast to the looting battle in the previous life, where casualties exceeded 60% in the huge melee, Now he can finally become the winner. But he hasn't even warmed his butt yet. A sharp air blade flew straight towards Zhongming, aiming to chop off the hand of the little monster he was holding. Luckily, Zhongming acted swiftly. Otherwise, it would have been his arm that got severed. And at this moment, 3 mysterious figures emerged from the dust and fog, instructing Zhongming to release the little monster from his grasp. Seeing Zhongming ignoring the warning, the 3 individuals then launched a direct attack on him. One of the men, who looks like Kakashi, charges towards him with a long spear. Due to the previous injury to his right arm, the situation is not optimistic. So he made the decision to sacrifice his arm like a hero. He directly kicked the little monster away, made the 3 people on the spot feel confused. But it flew to Leader Ye's #1 henchman, Wang Ding. Early birds catch the worm. But the only benefit is that it can transfer 3 combat powers to Wang Ding. And Zhongming can fish in troubled waters. At the same time, he can also observe the enemy's information from the side. The sudden appearance of Wang Ding made Zhongming frown. He is actually a 2-stars evolver. I didn't expect to come back to life slower than him. This is a kind of humiliation. However, Zhongming is not too bothered. Instead, he took advantage of the chaos and ran towards the little monsters. When they were fighting each other like dogs, Zhongming had already grabbed the reward money bag. When Wang Ding finally remembered the money bag, Zhongming has already taken the money bag and said thank you to him. In the near future, people need to rely on a lottery even to have a bottle of cola. In the apocalypse where zombies roam, snatching the wheel becomes the key to survival and strength. The reincarnated Zhongming is like a walking cheat code, venturing into the layers of many big shots. He snatched the precious monster item, but hasn't gone far. 2-stars evolver Wang Ding is desperately chasing after him from behind. Zhongming knows well that he can't compete head-on with his previous power. He can only resort to outsmarting them. And at this moment, a sudden explosion occurred ahead. Even Zhongming hesitated slightly when he saw it, because what appeared in front of him was the level 4 chained prisoner. But Zhongming was not surprised but rather pleased. He seemed to have a new plan. In the slight moment of hesitation from Zhongming, Wang Ding caught up. Zhongming took Wang Ding's punch head-on. If it weren't for the fact that Zhongming is not an ordinary 1-star evolver, he probably just hung himself. And at this moment, Wang Ding realized that Zhongming was not simple. He directly used the exploding clothes technique. The black skull tattoo on his chest was undoubtedly revealed. The moment that caught Zhongming's attention finally made him realize why Wang Ding had become a 2-stars evolver so quickly. It turns out that he used the Black Soul Devouring card. If a 1-star evolver is used, it only needs to devour a level 1 mutant life form to evolve into a 2-stars evolver. But the maximum is to ascend to 3 stars, and only have a maximum of 10 years to live after using it. Wang Ding issued a final ultimatum to Zhongming. But Zhongming at this time was unexpectedly calm and composed. This made him suspicious and unwilling to underestimate. Later, Zhongming pointed around. He then realized that almost all the surviving organizations had come here. Of course, the armed group behind Wang Ding also arrived here together. Zhongming then directly turned a chained prisoner and leaped up and down. He arrived at the highest point of the pile of rocks and made a startling decision. He directly emptied the treasures from the money bag. The onlookers were all dumbfounded upon seeing this. But in the next second, they immediately recovered and rushed towards the treasures in the sky. And Wang Ding was even closer to the waterside pavilion, when it was about to be in hand. Suddenly, a green vine sprang out, snatching away the fat meat that was about to fall into Wang Ding's hands. It was Liang Chuyin. Teacher Piao and Mo were also with her teammates. In the chaos, Mo also got a golden egg. Then she delivered a flying kick in midair. She kicked another golden egg into Teacher Piao's hands. And so, Zhongming's 3-person team each had their own fate. The remaining few also did not give in to each other. In the end, Leader Yu was defeated by the three of them, and was kicked away. Just then, a gunshot not far away broke the current situation. The crowd's eyes turned to the chained prisoner one after another. It is Yi Zhongming. He keeps shooting at the chains of the chained prisoner. Others thought that Yi Zhongming had gone crazy. He wanted to lure the monster and meet the same fate. But they did not know that Yi Zhongming was after the iron chain on the monster. Melting this chain into weapons can greatly enhance their quality. Every gram can be sold for a sky-high price of ghost metal. In the near future, people even need to rely on a wheel to draw lots for a bottle of Evergrande spring water. In a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. The resurrected Yi Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. Just as everyone was fighting over the golden sphere, he was calculating a big iron chain. Because he knew that this was no ordinary iron chain. It's the priceless ghost metal. After multiple shots from him, the iron chain finally cracked. He then climbed on top of the chained prisoner. He grabbed onto the crack that appeared in the iron chain. He then swung his 80-meter short sword. Aim and slash. After a period of reinforcement. The sharpness is extraordinary. Cracks appeared on the iron chain as expected. After that, Yi Zhongming kept chopping like this incessantly. Chained prisoner still looked puzzled. It just wanted to shake off this red fly. Its right hand was already injured. Now things have gone from bad to worse. Seeing how much the iron chain had cracked only made it more disheartened. Even someone as strong as Yi Zhongming has also had thoughts of giving up. And just at this moment, Yi Zhongming suddenly discovered something that could change the situation, a seed of a man-eating plant that had not yet sprouted. Yi Zhongming grabbed it firmly. Then he stuffed them into the cracks of the iron chain. The next second, activate Gardner's activation skill. Only to see the seeds of the man-eating flower in the cracks grow at an exponential speed, forcefully widening the cracks. Then Yi Zhongming did a spinning jump with his eyes closed. Leaping through the air was a slash, directly cutting through the man-eating flower. The momentum attracted everyone's attention. Then weightlessness began to fall. The broken iron chain also fell through the air. And at this moment, Wang Ding immediately rushed over. In his eyes, as long as Yi Zhongming attaches such importance, it must be a good thing. How could the fat in hand be easily given up? Yi Zhongming immediately called for Di Huang Pill. Then Di Huang Pill jumped straight out from Wang Ding's head. Seeing Di Huang Pill successfully bite ghost metal, Yi Zhongming finally fell to the ground in relief. Fainted. Fortunately, Liang Chuyin and several others arrived by his side in time. And at this moment, the chained prisoner was already furious, shooting wildly. When Yi Zhongming opened his eyes again, he found that he had been unconscious for several days. He only knew about it after Teacher Piao's explanation. It turns out that, after he fell into a coma, Mo Yi and her colleagues helped them to retreat together. Now those people are clamoring to take away treasure as reward. If it weren't for Mo Yi, they would have turned their backs on us long ago. And at this moment, Yi Zhongming woke up. It's also time for him to take over and handle this matter. First, he asked Mo Yi to bring out the gains of the day. One of them is the formula for the hiking potion. After taking it, endurance increases within 2 hours, while the other one is a crystal that holds a volume of 1 cubic space. This is definitely top-tier equipment in the post-apocalyptic world. And the last item is a summoning card. Mo Yi entrusted it to her instructor for safekeeping. Now he refuses to return it. After looking at the 3 items, Yi Zhongming just casually said, "These 3 items cannot be shared with you all." In the near future, people even need to rely on a wheel to draw lots for a bowl of snail noodles. In the apocalypse where zombies roam, snatching the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. The reborn Yi Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. He reaped great rewards in a treasure wheel showdown. But in every era, there will be vile people eyeing them. This Mediterranean fellow picks up a weapon at the drop of a hat. He plans to use force to compel Zhongming to hand over all the rewards. If it were another organization, it might still work. But he is facing the protagonist of the comic, Zhongming. I only saw Zhongming's eyes grow cold, and a surge of killing intent rise in his heart. Sure enough, the Mediterranean brother took out a gun and aimed it at Zhongming, ordering him to hand over everything. But Zhongming remained calm. His eyes grew even colder. Since the other party is so shameless, he doesn't need to consider emotions and righteousness either. Then a pistol was aimed at the head of the old man in the Mediterranean Sea. Bang! Suddenly a bullet passes straight through the old man in the Mediterranean Sea. It was Moye's teammate Xiao Lei. At this time, everyone was only belatedly aware of the situation. They all gnashed their teeth at Xiao Lei, preparing to sacrifice her to the heavens. And at this moment, the Di Huang pill jumped over. Just a brief encounter made them scatter and flee in disarray. Zhongming, on the other hand, sneered at Moye's instructor and said coldly, "Hand over the card. I'll let you go." Then he handed the immunity potion to Moye to give to the departing instructor as a life-saving measure. This simple act of kindness completely won over Moye's heart. After that, he threw the strengthening potion to Xiao Lei, who had just betrayed them. It turns out that before the negotiations, Zhongming had already privately rallied Xiao Lei to his side. He promised to escort her to find her husband after the matter is settled. After the distribution of the spoils incident came to an end, Zhongming could finally take stock of the spoils of this battle. He retrieved the Hellhound summoning card from the instructor's hands, and then stored it directly into the space crystal. A piece of gold cloth appeared in front of him. He only then realized that this was the money pouch cloth of the little creature. But he distinctly remembered tearing it open at the time. Now the cloth had reappeared in front of him intact. To validate his guess, Zhongming wielded an 80-meter dagger. Aiming at the money bag, he swung the dagger. But unexpectedly, the place where the dagger passed actually healed on its own. This greatly astonished Zhongming. He threw it away as if he had seen a ghost. When he came across the egg of ape turtle crocodile, the surroundings unexpectedly emitted a dazzling light. When Zhongming carefully lifted it up for observation, the scene in front of him once again astounded him. It turns out that it can absorb vitality to repair its own injuries. This is an end-of-the-world artifact. But with Zhongming's current strength, he still doesn't know how to use it. He had to put it in the corner for now. Next is the sheep treasure obtained by killing fearful sheep at the beginning. This is also the only thing that can directly enhance strength this time. Then he felt a deep sigh. When the sheep treasure slid to the intersection of 1/3 of the large intestine and small intestine, in an instant, a surge of heat gushed directly from his anus. In the near future, people even need to rely on a lucky draw with wheel to eat a piece of extra gum. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies rampage, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. The resurrected Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. Harvested abundantly in the first battle for the gathering treasure wheel. Especially after he swallowed the sheep treasure. A surging power gushed out from his anus. He, who was still in a weak post-war state before, instantly recovered. Now his back is not sore anymore. His legs are not hurting. He effortlessly went up 5 flights of stairs in one breath. After this strengthening, his strength is now nearly 8 or 9 times that of an ordinary person. After recovering, Zhongming showed the unexpected gain from this strengthening. Ghost Metal then used the gathering and refining skills in the artisan technique. Just saw Ghost Metal struck as if by lightning. Disperse into 100 portions, each weighing 10 grams. Then continuously flow into the spatial crystal. He then took one portion out to practice and test. Zhongming pulled out an 80-centimeter short knife. Then he inserted the knife into the iron pillar next to him, and once again demonstrated the forging ability in his craftsmanship skills. The materials in front of him melted into a pile of molten syrup. Then he began to incorporate strengthening materials such as ghost metal and magic crystal. After a burst of strong light flashed, a brand new 90-meter short knife appeared in front of Zhongming. And the knife also comes with the ghost metal skill full power blade attached. Just swing it with all your strength, and a third of the blade will light up with a blade aura. This is a skill that only bladesmen's primary profession can acquire when reaching the master tier. It is truly a rare existence in the end of the world. Just by seeing the additional skills of ghost metal, Zhongming feels extremely delighted. After he finished crafting the new weapon, Zhongming continued with his next plan, fulfilling his promise to Xiao Lei and preparing to head to the region where her husband is located. Drawing on his experiences from the past, Zhongming quickly analyzed the best route. Just when everyone thought they were about to set off, Zhongming actually had something to take care of first. In a hotel, the three of them were taking stock of their recent gains. Just as the red-haired woman was about to pull the curtains, suddenly, there was a loud bang. The person who came was Zhongming. Before Bald Brother could regain his senses, Zhongming has already kidnapped red-haired girl. Then Mo Yi and others burst in with guns. During Zhongming's unconsciousness, these three people relentlessly pursued and killed Mo Yi and his group. Now Zhongming has come to collect the debt. And he also wants to get the location of the colorful wheel out of their mouths. As expected, with the hostages in hand, I have the world. Soon, the crewcut guy confessed everything. Later, crewcut guy led everyone to a residential area. And the room in front of them is where wheel is located. Sure enough, a colorful wheel appeared in front of everyone. According to feedback from the crowd, it is estimated that driving at once will require 300 crystals. So what's next? They will be quite busy in the near future. People even need to rely on the Wheel of Fortune to eat endless chicken wings. In the apocalypse where zombies rampage, snatching the wheel has become the key to survival and strength. Just recently, Zhongming found a colorful wheel, but it costs hundreds of magic crystals to spin it once, so the current top priority is to kill zombies to gather magic crystals. With a few more team members now, they can harvest over 200 magic crystals in just one morning, but they are still far from having enough to spin the wheel. Therefore, Zhongming decides to change locations, attempting to collect level 2 magic crystals in places like supermarkets, where crowds of people gather, the prime target for zombies hunting for human prey. As expected, a drop of mysterious green substance suddenly falls on his shoulder. When he looks up, he sees a mutated long-legged spider. Before Zhongming could even react, it spat out a bunch of sticky spider silk. Faced with such a large spider web, Zhongming did not intend to dodge. Instead, he calmly drew a 90-meter short knife and aimed it at the spider web, slashing with full force. A red sword aura swiftly cut the spider silk web in half. Before the long-legged spider could react, Zhongming has already appeared above it. The 90-meter short knife is restless. He then once again unleashed the full power blade, and the red knife energy surged up like a towering giant wave. Just one glance, long-legged spider split in half like being reborn. Then Zhongming dealt with its body calmly and unhurriedly. Just at that moment, Zhongming suddenly felt a chill down his spine. Fortunately, Zhongming was in good shape, otherwise, he wouldn't be able to avoid it even with the Great Luo's help. At this moment, Zhongming's expression darkened, because the one who just ambushed him was not an ordinary zombie. It was a beautiful woman who turned into a zombie, and then evolved into a new special type called Speech Witch. The talent skill can control a mutant creature or monster. It can also evolve with her to become extremely powerful in the end. And the one who just ambushed Zhongming, it's this extremely agile level 2 mutant black cat. In other words, Zhongming is currently facing 2 level 2 creatures. Just then, the black cat leaped up. But the next second, it was gnawing on the corpse of the long-legged spider, completely ignoring Zhongming. Zhongming, who knew he was being looked down upon, raised a 90-meter short knife. He whooshed forward towards the black cat with no one else in his eyes. Shortly after, he swung a full-power blade at it. When the black cat noticed, while it was able to dodge, it could not escape unscathed. The blade cut its delicate black skin. But the next moment, Zhongming's face turned serious. It turned out to be a talent skill of energy exchange. It can accelerate the healing effect by transferring injuries to others. The speech witch in front of me, who is only at level 2, actually awakened this skill. Zhongming knows that he cannot fight for long. He must strike while the iron is hot. But Speech Witch does not seem to be eager for battle. She directly used the strategy of to flee is the best tactic from the 36 stratagems. Zhongming wanted to chase after them. But thinking about the wound on his back that was just scratched, the smell of blood permeating like a moving cake. So he decided to go back to bandage the wound first. But he always felt something was not right. Sure enough, the manhole cover not far away made a hissing sound. In the near future, people even need to rely on a lottery to drink a bottle of Sprite. In the post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies, competing for the wheel has become the key to survival and power. Zhongming just discovered a new colorful wheel while collecting crystals when he was attacked by a level 2 speech witch. Zhongming intended to evade the attack at first. He, however, was attacked one after another. First, it was the one flying in the sky. But the flying monster could not withstand Zhongming's 90-meter short knife. And the creatures crawling on the ground were also restless. Sure enough, the next moment, they gathered and surged towards Zhongming, but under Zhongming's blade, they all ended up losing their heads. But they excelled in their astonishing numbers. Suddenly, 2 little cuties inadvertently stood out. But the little cuties were handsome for less than 3 seconds. Just one glance. He dealt with many little cuties in one go. The rest were all scared and ran away immediately. Zhongming then pointed to the speech witch on the rooftop. It's your turn next time. It saw that Zhongming was not simple. Speech witch also had no intention of fighting, turned around and left. But a creepy vibe could be seen in its eyes. Quickly, Zhongming dragged the burly man's body back to the base. Liang Qin looked heartbroken when she saw it. The group of 3 still didn't forget to taunt him. After receiving some bandaging, Zhongming arrived in front of the colorful wheel. Afterwards, he threw in the 360 magic crystals he had obtained today. The wheel spun rapidly. The crowd behind held their breath. A moment later, there was a ding sound. It was a professional certificate called Light Apostle. Zhongming saw the detailed description and his eyes lit up. It's a combination of a doctor and a mage. It can both heal and defend, as well as provide support for attacks. It is truly a dreamlike all-around profession. But the downside is that it can only be the user's sole profession. After hearing the description of the profession, everyone's eyes lit up with excitement. One after another turned their heads to look at Teacher Piao behind them. Apparently this profession was tailor-made for her. And Teacher Piao did not refuse. She directly crushed the scroll in her hand. With a swish, a blue light suddenly appeared. Only to see Teacher Piao slowly open his eyes. Then he pointed at Zhongming. Zhongming's injuries healed at a visible speed. This made Zhongming very surprised and pleased. A rare skill in the apocalypse. Not only that, she also has another auxiliary skill, and her evolution path is rich and powerful. This makes Zhongming call it super awesome. No wonder this can only be the unique profession. Before Zhongming could recover from his surprise, Teacher Piao summoned a hollow diamond shield. Not only can it be cast on oneself, but it can also be cast on a designated target. And this type of defense is automatic. It will automatically capture attacks and counter them by moving itself. And as Teacher Piao advances, this defense will only become more powerful. Sure enough, this support role is very satisfying to Zhongming. There are still 2 empty slots left on the wheel. He took out the magic crystal again and threw it in. The 3 people on the side all looked blank. This assistant profession makes Zhongming very satisfied. Now there are 2 slots left on the wheel. He took out the magic crystal again and threw it in. The other 3 onlookers were all stunned. How is that possible? He alone killed 4 level 2 zombies. The crowd didn't think much. Little did they know, Zhongming had known all along. He has been chasing you all this time. A black cat was staring at them intently. As soon as he arrived, his eyes shot out red light. In the near future, people have to rely on luck even to have a drink of Matai. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, seizing the wheel has become the key to survival and power for people. Zhongming is investigating the matter of the Blade Man professional book and is attacked by the previous speech witch, while facing 2 level 2 creatures at the same time. Zhongming plans to break through them one by one. But speech witch did not give him the opportunity. In that case, Zhongming once again displayed the tradition of being a strong man with a good waist and good kidneys. He performed a mid-air turn and stabbed towards the attacking speech witch. The speech witch was startled by this and shuddered. She used her 3rd innate skill, Soul Piercer. A purple whirlwind surged towards Zhongming in a sudden attack. If it weren't for his quick reflexes, Zhongming would definitely have been in big trouble. And Soul Piercer is a mental talent skill. It directly damages the consciousness of living beings. This once again surprised Zhongming. It's astonishing that a level 2 mutated zombie has 3 talent skills. And the speech witch turned around and fled again. Zhongming deeply knew that this menace could not be left behind. When he was preparing to chase after her, he was obstructed by the bone demon. In the urgent situation, Zhongming casually wielded a 90-meter short knife, taking down the opponent directly and securing the first blood. And then he continued to chase the fleeing speech witch. But just at that moment, the sudden sound coming from the supermarket made him calm down. The primary task now is to obtain a professional certificate and enhance one's own capabilities. He then went straight to the supermarket, using one of the few remaining courtesies in this post-apocalyptic world. Then, he stated his purpose for coming. A response came from inside the door. It was an old man. He saw that Zhongming didn't look like a bad person, so he let him in. But he still remained cautious. Zhongming looked around at the surroundings. He then took out the evolution potion to show his sincerity. Another man in the room took out the certificate. After looking at the certificate, the 2 of them began bargaining in the street market style. In the end, the bargaining between the 2 of them was stuck at 3 or 4 bottles of evolution potion. Learning of the old man's insistence on 4 bottles was for his family member with a terminal illness. As a result, Zhongming took out the last ape turtle crocodile egg. He even mentioned that its effects could rival those of the evolution potion. In the end, the 2 of them successfully reached a deal. As they were leaving, Zhongming kindly reminded the old man to leave as soon as possible. At the same time, he was fortunate that the old man's skills were not good, so he couldn't make use of the treasure even if he found it. This is a professional certificate called the Radiant Sigil Blade Crafter. Just by looking at the prefix, you can tell this is a rare primary profession. And it is a profession that combines Markcaster and Blade Man into one. Markcaster can record skills into a mark, then enchant it onto a weapon. Zhongming was seen making slow motions with his left and right hands. A blazing fire was then ignited and recorded with the flame mark, which was fused into his 90-meter short knife. The 90-meter short knife then emitted a charming radiance, with the flame mark prominently appearing on the blade. Subsequently, Zhongming directly unleashed the flame blade. A blazing fire erupted in front instantly. Just one slash could burn off Pig's hair entirely. The other skill that the Blade Man profession carries is Blue Sea Cut. But it consumes a lot. Currently, his strength can only swing 2 swords at most. But at this moment, Zhongming, who is reaping full benefits, is unaware. Moe and a few others are currently engaged in a fierce battle. In the near future, people even need to rely on wheel to draw lots just to drink a bottle of cold boiled water. In the apocalyptic world ruled by zombies, snatching wheels becomes the key to survival and power. Zhongming has just become the Radiant Sigil Bladecrafter. After experiencing the power of the Markcaster, he then planned to meet with several people from Moyi. But at this moment, he heard the barking of the Di Huang Pill. Are they in danger? On the other side, Moyi is dodging left and right, obviously in a fierce battle. It turns out that Wang Ding, the warrior of 2 stars back then, now known as Flat Top Bro, is also lying on the ground with serious injuries. And Liang Chuyin is also in a fierce battle with Leader Yi. The Di Huang Pill is dealing with several minions, and the situation is quite challenging. Wang Ding heads straight for Moyi. He swung the 2 knives in his hands down. Moyi then used the 80-meter short knife given to her by Zhongming to block. But the opponent has 2 knives. Blocking the first one may not be able to block the 15th. At the critical moment, when danger was imminent, Teacher Piao's hollow diamond shield came to the rescue in time. But its effect was very minimal. Under the fierce attack from Wang Ding, she could only struggle to survive. When even the last line of defense is lost, all that awaits them is fear. Teacher Piao now also suffers from mental overload. Frequent use of hollow diamond shield and rejuvenation have left her body depleted. With a loud clang, Wang Ding broke through Moya's block. At the same time, his other hand stabbed towards her hand, intending to seize the 80-meter short dagger. But at this moment, a familiar sound came from not far away. He then saw a ball of fire coming towards him. It's Zhongming. He's here, coming with a ball of fire. Before everyone could react, this flame blade strike directly cut off one of Wang Ding's hands with a swish, causing him to kneel on the ground in unbearable pain. Seeing Zhongming standing in front of him, staring at him fixedly, Wang Ding ran off as if he had seen a ghost. Leader Yi and the others also saw that the situation was not right and quickly retreated. They had wanted to continue the pursuit, but Zhongming was too exhausted to carry on. They could only regroup and reorganize first. Zhongming finally recovered his energy. A few people were able to enjoy a rare peaceful meal. Flat Top Bro kept shouting about how powerful the 80-meter short knife is. Even Wang Ding avoided its sharpness. Later, Zhongming stood up directly. He came to the iron gate and used forging, only to see the iron gate dissolve at a speed visible to the naked eye. Then he took out reinforcement materials from the spatial crystal. With a loud bang, blue light flashed. A brand new 80-meter short knife was handed to Flat Top Bro. At this moment, Zhongming forged in front of everyone for the first time, causing a stir of exclamations. After a round of cheers, Zhongming gazed into the distance. Then he pointed to a tall building in the distance. Next, we need to find a person. In the future, he will be revered as the Melody Master. Inside the instrument factory indicated by Zhongming, there are several survivors sitting and lying down. Then a big man eating a chicken leg walked in. He looked like an oppressor. Upon seeing the big man, the crowd became slightly nervous. However, one middle-aged man with glasses had a gloomy expression. It was clear that he was the person Zhongming was looking for. In the near future, people even need to rely on a wheel draw to have a chance to drink a bottle of 1982 Lafite Rothschild in the near future. In the apocalyptic world where zombies roam, seizing the wheel becomes crucial for survival and power. Zhongming, who has been reborn, is like a walking cheat code. He followed his memories, leading his team to search for a man named Melody Master. However, upon arrival, they found the place deserted. And just at this moment, they noticed something outside the door. It turns out that they used a living person to lure away the zombies, and the leader was the big man who was eating chicken legs in the previous episode. He used living people to lure away the zombies, while he looted supplies himself. The man with glasses found out that he was about to become bait. His heart was already completely despairing. But at this moment, he unexpectedly ran into Zhongming's arms. Before the man with glasses could react, Zhongming had already arranged everything for him. In the previous life, the man with glasses was the father of the magic crystal weapon, Yuan. He extracted the energy contained in the magic crystal through technological means, further modified it to become a rare weapon in the apocalypse. However, Zhongming did not tell him the truth. Instead, he let him eat and drink his fill first. He took out another magic crystal. Then he proposed the idea of refining the energy of the magic crystal. Actually, it is to guide him towards the path of the father of the magic crystal weapon. Bring him into the team ahead of time. And at this moment, Yuan said solemnly, "Help me with something. My life, Yuan's life, is at your disposal." On the other hand, Chicken Leg Brother is pondering deeply. He doesn't understand why Zhongming, who clearly has strength, would want to save that tag-along glasses guy. And just at that moment, the younger brother handed him a box of canned peaches to refresh his mind. Suddenly, Chicken Leg Bro thought of that inch-headed young brother who had taken Glasses Guy's wife. He felt that something was not right. Sure enough, the next moment, someone broke in. The newcomer turned out to be Zhongming and his group. After making eye contact with Yuan, he swaggered in. He grabbed the little guy by the hair. He viciously grabbed his collar. Then he swung him back. The man fell with a thud in front of Yuan. And at this moment, the blood vessels in Yuan's eyes were almost bursting with anger. He directly picked up an 80-pound brick and fiercely smashed it at the henchman. After avenging his wife, he, along with 5 trusted followers, joined Zhongming's team. In the middle of the night, Zhongming was planning their next target location. It was a wild boar farm, the goal being to obtain level 2 magic crystal. Because there are at least 50 level 2 wild boars here. When the crowd heard this, they were shocked. Meanwhile, outside the wild boar farm, a strong man was dragging a corpse while drinking a Lafite from 82. He threw the corpse into the nearby wild boar farm. Soon, a group of wild boars gathered around the fresh corpse, eagerly tearing and devouring it. Meanwhile, the bearded man was muttering to himself, "After evolving, help me find a level 2 wheel to become a 2 stars evolver. It will happen in the near future." People have to rely on lottery even for a bottle of Mrs. Ty's oral liquid. In the apocalypse where zombies are rampant, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. The reincarnated Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. His next target is a wild boar farm because it houses a bunch of mutated Peppa Pig piglets, and the owner of the wild boars is the powerful 9 stars expert Gu Pan from the previous life. Developed in the later stages. Even 5 Peppa Pig have reached level 8 mutation. Zhongming now needs to quickly break through level 2 reinforcement. Going to steal his tower is the best choice. On the other hand, Gu Pan, who is drinking, is unaware that his death is approaching. Suddenly, his 7th sense tells him that something big is happening. Several innocent Peppa Pig toys die one after another, and then another one dies shortly after. At this point, Gu Pan is already furious. Then he directly rushed out of the room. He didn't care about anything and just acted impulsively. He immediately sounded the horn of the soul. The Peppa Pig family suddenly gathered together. Gu Pan did not say a word. He picked up his weapon, sat in the Mercedes Peppa Pig flat-top row, and left with the Peppa Pig family. He immediately informed Zhongming that there were only 7 Peppa Pig guards left at home. And on this side, Mo observed. Counted 46 Peppa Pig heads for level 2. 28 Peppa Pig heads for level 1. Everyone also understands the arduous and dangerous task this time. But seeking wealth and honor in danger is an eternal truth. He then began to assign tasks. Yuan is responsible for taking charge of the wind. Xiao Lei is responsible for protecting Yuan. Teacher Piao is responsible for supporting Liang Chuyin and Di Huang Pil. Mo will go patch up any holes. He also asked Flat Top Bro to prepare the motorcycles needed for the second section, while he went to take care of the 7 Peppa Pigs guarding the farm. These adorable Peppa Pigs were no match for him at all. And Mo raised the AK-48 and fired at the Peppa Pigs with a burst of gunfire. They couldn't last 3 seconds in front of her. Those who miraculously weren't shot dead were swiftly finished off by her. In just a moment, she took down 10 level 1 Peppa Pigs. On the other side, Liang Chuyin wielded a long whip. She had the posture of taming the king of Peppa Pigs. Under her gentle care of a small whip, Liang Chuyin and Teacher Piao also successfully completed the first stage of the mission. Flat Op Bro was riding a flashy green scooter, waiting for Gu Pan's army of Peppa Pig to arrive. He then flashed an international hand signal. He successfully provoked Gu Pan. Gu Pan has been chasing Flat Op Bro to successfully complete the first task. Zhongming also took care of the 7 Peppa Pig guards. Everyone is getting ready to start the second task. Send Peppa Pig King Gu Pan on the road. At this time, the 3 little sisters have already gathered at the second task point. Soon, Gu Pan was led here by Flat Op Bro. By now, Gu Pan was already engulfed in anger. 74 Peppa Pigs were killed instantly, more than 20. He was itching to tear Flat Top Bro apart. But at this moment, suddenly came a loud bang. It's an ambush. If it weren't for one of the Peppa Pig taking the bullet. Gu Pan is about to be done here. The current Gu Pan has lost his mind. He rushed towards the ambush location of the 3 younger sisters. Next, it's Liang Chuyin's turn to perform. In the near future, people need to rely on the Wheel of Fortune even to eat a pill of ibuprofen. In a post-apocalyptic world dominated by zombies, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power in the world dominated by zombies. Zhongming, born anew, is like a walking guidebook. Now he is planning to deal with the future powerhouse Gu Pan from the 9 stars. After Zhongming lured Gu Pan to the ambush point, Liang Chuyin leaped down and unleashed a frenzy of raging madness whip attacks. She chased away the oncoming Peppa Pig in a panic. Plus Moya's suppressive firepower. The Peppa Pigs couldn't last for more than 3 seconds. Liang Chuyin successfully completed her mission. Retreat immediately under the cover of Moyi. Luckily, I used a whip, so I was able to climb the wall under the eyes of the pigs and safely return to the ambush point. The mission of the 3 was finally completed only after he had used up the last armor-piercing bullet. But at this moment, the door was suddenly kicked open. The person who came in was Gu Pan. The casualties of Peppa Pig's team had already made him furious. He had to catch the 3 little sisters to sacrifice in order to appease Peppa Pig, but he didn't expect that the sparrow in the rear had been eyeing the mantis for a long time. When the 3 little sisters saw Zhongming coming, they immediately relaxed. And before Zhongming could even say hello, he kicked Gu Pan directly. The powerful impact force couldn't even withstand the made-in-China glass. Let him free fall from a height of 100 meters. Waiting for him is Zhongming's 90-meter short knife. Where the short knife passes, it burns into smoke. The future strongman of 9 stars falls at this moment. 74 Peppa Pig heads taken care of, with 72 resolved and 2 rescued after getting lost. But Zhongming is quite satisfied with this outcome. He then arranged for Flat Top Bro to handle the body of Peppa Pig. Fangs, mane, and fur are all good enhancement materials. And you can even have pork in the apocalypse. Half cured and half charcoal grilled is still delicious. Surviving in the apocalypse has become a gourmet moment. While Zhongming is eating meat, he is also taking stock of his gains this time. There are more than 40 level 2 magic crystals. Next, he will start looking for a level 2 wheel to evolve as soon as possible. And the Di Huang pill at this moment is really tempting. Zhongming noticed that the magic crystal of this silly dog had dimmed. If nothing unexpected happens, it will evolve after it wakes up. And at this moment, 2 unidentified individuals appeared in front of Zhongming. When they introduced themselves as being from the new district base, Xiao Lei called on the spot. This means that these 2 individuals may know her husband. She then came with hope to inquire about her husband Chen Yu's news. But the result was not as expected. The 2 of them did not know each other. Moreover, the new district is now heavily surrounded by zombies. To get in, only alternative methods can be used. Yi Zhongming is also interested. Seeing that they were both only interested in eating pork, Yi Zhongming agreed to have them show the way into the new district. And at this moment, a strange noise came from inside the house. It must have been the commotion caused by the Di Huang pill. Sure enough, when Yi Zhongming came in, he saw Di Huang pill shedding fur continuously. Everyone was quite worried, thinking that dogs cannot eat pork. But the next second, Flat Op Bro screamed in alarm. The Di Huang pill grew golden fur at a speed visible to the naked eye. Then it opened its big Carzalin eyes. It successfully evolved into a level 2 Luwei Di Huang pill. In the near future, people have to rely on a wheel to draw lots even for a piece of pork in the near future. In the end times when zombies roam, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. Yi Zhongming, who has been reborn, is like a walking cheat code. His war dog Di Huang pill has also transformed from its original black fur. It has transformed into a golden fur. It has become a little yellow dog. And it's really yellow. The latest evolved talent skill is the ability to control the quantity and attack intensity of fine needles and threads. It is equivalent to making up for the initial weakness and power. On the rooftop of the new district base on the other side, there is a man surnamed Ming wearing a military uniform. He quietly watched Liang Chuyin and others. And just at this moment, a man in white appeared beside him. The newcomer is Qin Yu, the husband of Xiao Lei. At this moment, they are facing the dilemma of running out of food and ammunition. They saw a pile of food on Yi Zhongming's side, and couldn't help but show a greedy expression. They were eager to quickly report to the central government and plan to surrender them. On the other side, two people led Yi Zhongming and several others to a secret passage. They are preparing to go to the new district base, while the Di Huang pill stayed behind to guard the remaining pork. Several people then entered the sewer. They encountered a robber who intercepted them midway, snatching the bag from Buzzcut Guy. Upon seeing the bag full of pork, the man with a watermelon-shaped head drooled greedily. Oblivious to the situation, Yi Zhongming insisted on keeping everything. Seeing Yi Zhongming's expression darken, Liang Chuyin stepped in. She took the initiative to speak up and persuade the man with the watermelon-shaped head to back off. But he felt he had a long life ahead of him. He grabbed a stick and charged straight at Liang Chuyin. Just saw Liang Chuyin lightly raise his foot. She kicked him flying hundreds of miles away. Other little brothers shouted to teach Liang Chuyin a lesson when they saw this. But the next moment, they were all lying on the ground. Then, without looking back, they continued to move forward. After a short episode, they emerged from the sewer and arrived at the new district base. Xiaolei can't wait to find Qinyu. She parted ways with a few people, not forgetting to disdain Yi Zhongming's ruthlessness before leaving. This left Yi Zhongming speechless. It's really the end of the world, and she still wants to play the saint. Little does she know about the world today. People are willing to give up their bodies for a meal. And just at this moment, two well-built men swaggered out, leaving a loaf of bread behind. They directly pulled the woman away. Xiao Pang explained that they were able to act so domineeringly because they controlled the 3 wheels. As soon as they heard there were 3 wheels here, Yi Zhongming got excited immediately. When he found out that one of them is a level 2 wheel, Yi Zhongming decided to settle here directly. At night, several people arrived at an empty house. They made a fire, cooked and ate meat. However, the lack of vegetables from long-term meat consumption led to malnutrition, even for evolvers. But this is not an issue for Yi Zhongming. He then directly pulled Flat Op Bro to cultivate the land. Flat Op Bro looked puzzled. Now planting means waiting forever before harvesting. But the next second, green vegetables sprouted out of the soil. Yes, that's Yi Zhongming's gardener professional skill. Cultivation acceleration. In the near future, people will even need to rely on a wheel lottery to get a piece of cabbage to eat. In the zombie-ravaged doomsday world, seizing the wheel becomes a key to survival and power. The resurrected Yi Zhongming is like a walking loophole. While others can't even eat their fill, he worries about not having smooth bowel movements from only eating meat without vegetables. After he activated the gardener profession skill of accelerating cultivation, the seeds he had just planted grew at a visible speed. In the doomsday world, having food is equivalent to having ownership. As expected, they eat better than emperors in the apocalypse. Zhongming thinks he can eat vegetables tomorrow, and he is very happy. At this moment, there was a knocking sound coming from outside the door. Buzzcut Guy is back. During the day, Zhongming asked him to find the person who has the formula. Now he has come back to convey the good news. The joy on Zhongming's face is even greater. Soon after, Buzzcut Guy took Zhongming to a clubhouse in the East District. Sitting in front of them was a big shot in military attire. Zhongming guessed that this person wanted to trade the formula. It is likely that the ingredients required for the formula are too demanding, making it tasteless. Soon after, Zhongming took out 3 bottles of level 1 evolution potion. The man was about to agree, but Zhongming chuckled and said, "It's 1 potion, plus a gun." The man's face turned dark. Hearing that the other party actually wanted to trade his treasure for a gun, isn't this just like dancing with a big knife in front of Guangdong? Zhongming ignored him, and reached into his backpack instead. He pulled out an ordinary handgun, then without saying a word, fired a shot next to him. Then with a bang, a big hole appeared on the wall. "Damn! You call this a gun?" Seeing such power, the man immediately agreed to Zhongming's terms of the deal. Then he returned to the base. Enjoyed the long-lost Chinese cabbage. Everyone no longer worried about constipation. But there were people feeling happy and others feeling sad. On the other side, Xiao Lei successfully found her missing husband Chen Yu, who was beaten with a swollen nose and bruised face. Xiao Lei felt very sad. Fortunately, before leaving, Moe gave her a bottle of evolution potion and some pork. Chen Yu, who used to be the son of a secretary, now feels that instant noodles can taste like delicacies from mountains and seas. And just at that moment, someone suddenly kicked open their door. The intruder was none other than Brother Pan, known for his bullying ways in the market. The former second-generation official, Chen Yu, had long lost his arrogance at this point. He greeted with a smile, and offered to help wash his clothes immediately. Upon hearing this, Xiao Lei thought he had mistaken the person. He was extremely excited. She immediately captured Brother Pan's attention. He carefully examined Xiao Lei, and then revealed a sly smile. After giving Xiao Lei a meaningful look, he turned and left. At this moment, Xiao Lei frowned. She could already sense a dangerous aura emanating from the sleazy man. Later, Brother Pan returned to the massage parlor. He talked to Bald Bro about Chen Yu's beautiful wife. Truly living up to her reputation, even the blind can hear what he's thinking. This immediately piqued the interest of the 2 Ball brothers. In the near future, people will have to rely on wheel to draw lots even for eating a roadside chicken. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies rampage, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. The resurrected Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. Just escaped from one of the bosses, Li Chang, in the new area. He exchanged for a skill book of basic puppet art. He saw the conditions written on it. No wonder the other 2 bosses were uninterested. Just 5 level 2 magic crystals were already daunting. But for Zhongming, this is simply tailor-made. Later, he plans to take a look at the only level 2 wheel in the new area at night, while the other side looks at Brother Pan with admiration. He is whispering secrets to another Ball brother. The Ball brother was originally in high spirits, but he lost his enthusiasm after hearing Brother Pan's plan. For survival, it is necessary to find a good peer. And Cooker Jean, one of the 3 big bosses in the new district, is quite similar to Chow Chow in his special quirk, only liking married women. As long as they offer up a stunning married woman like Xiao Lei, then they will enjoy the shade of a big tree. But they are unaware. Cooker Jean not only shares Chow Chow's peculiar habits, but also his ruthless and heartless nature. After the 2 of them report upwards, they will be ruthlessly eliminated without a second thought, never to see the sun again. He learned that Chen Yu's wife Xiao Lei is a stunning beauty. Cooker Jean then directly summoned Chen Yu. After that, he drank a glass of Lafite from the 1982 vintage. He leered and suggested sharing Chen Yu's wife. Chen Yu looked shocked. He cursed 1,000 times in his heart, but couldn't utter a single word of refusal. And just at that moment, Cooker Jean pulled out a bottle of evolution potion from his pocket. Chen Yu's eyes lit up immediately upon seeing the evolution potion. This directly broke through Chen Yu's bottom line. He knows very well that the treatment of a successful evolution will change dramatically. Then he turned around and left with a clear understanding. And at this moment, Zhongming had already been lurking outside Cooker Jin's residence. Seeing that the guards at level 2 wheel were indeed not as tight as those at level 1 wheel, Zhongming walked straight past the two of them and went in. Then, he carefully examined the wheel in front of him. He was slightly disappointed to see that there were no skills or recipes. But fortunately, there was the level 2 evolution potion to make up for it. But when he looked closely again, he was shocked. This is the elemental stone. It can not only be embedded in weapons and equipment to grant the weapon additional attributes, but the most crucial thing is this thing is actually edible. In the previous life, there was a survivor on the verge of death who had nothing to eat. He unintentionally swallowed a shattered elemental stone on the battlefield, but unexpectedly he survived. And the nature of the elemental stone that was eaten. The elemental stone, which originally had a stable price, suddenly became a sought-after item. Its price has skyrocketed. But this is also something that happened 4 or 5 years later. Now is the time for Zhongming to seize the opportunity. Then take out the recently obtained level 2 magic crystal. The remaining 5 will be used to make human puppets. As long as there are strengthening agents or elemental stones, he can make a lot of profit. Zhongming immediately took action without saying a word. In the near future, people even need to rely on a lucky draw using the wheel to have a meal of king crab. In a post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power in the midst of the zombie apocalypse. Zhongming, who has been reborn, is like a walking strategy guide. Other people can look but cannot touch the level 2 wheel. In his eyes, it is a tempting opportunity to widen the gap. Then he directly threw the level 2 magic crystal obtained from killing pigs into it. And in the daytime, he used a loaf of bread to lure away 2 bullies who were harassing a woman. Because ordinary people simply cannot bear the brutality of the evolver. And the 2 were in the household when suddenly they saw a dazzling light coming from the rooftop. It meant that someone had successfully turned the level 2 wheel, and at that moment, Chen Yu was persuading Xiao Lei to sacrifice himself. She argued that sooner or later they would have to use it, so why not exchange it for someone powerful who could provide shelter from the wind and rain? He said it so awkwardly that his toes could dig out a 4-bedroom apartment. She couldn't believe that Chen Yu, whom she had gone through so much trouble to find, turned out to be so weak. Xiao Lei instantly exploded in anger. Then she picked up the supply bag and turned to leave. The lonely Cooker Jean had already visited. Seeing his extremely obscene face, Xiao Lei immediately jumped up. But without drinking the strengthening potion, Xiao Lei is simply no match for Cooker Jean. She was then thrown towards the prepared bed on the side. And at this moment, the person pressing down on Xiao Lei's hands. He also demanded Cooker Jean to fulfill his promise of giving him the evolution potion. Xiao Lei became even more furious after hearing this sentence. She added a carp to the mix before striking again and again. Chen Yu's inner thoughts directly erupted into a million F***ck your mother curses. She twisted open one bottle of evolution potion. But how could Cooker Jean let her successfully take the medicine? YouTuber also felt that she was crazy not to drink early in the morning. In the end, she was saved by Zhongming. News came from outside that level 2 wheel was being turned, which was obviously more attractive. Cooker Jean then went straight out through the broken window. He called everyone to gather on the rooftop. And at this moment, the turning wheel made a loud noise. Yi Zhongming also knew that it was not suitable to stay here for long. Fortunately, at the last moment, the pointer of fate accurately stopped. Yi Zhongming successfully obtained the coveted elemental stone. But his crystal could still rotate one more round. Yi Zhongming had to take a risk. Meanwhile, Cooker Jean, leading his troops, quickly rushed towards the balcony. Yi Zhongming's heart skipped a beat. In the end, the pointer of fate followed the script completely, and stopped at the level 2 enhancer that he had been longing for. The pursuers have already caught up to him. For AK-56 rifles pointed straight at his back, commanding him to raise his hands and turn around. And just at that moment, the level 2 enhancer he had just obtained smoothly appeared in his hand. Cooker Jean in the back finally couldn't sit still. He quickly ordered to take down Yi Zhongming by hand. In the near future, people need to rely on a wheel draw even to drink a bottle of 1982 Lafite. In a post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, seizing the wheel becomes the key to power and survival in the post-apocalyptic world. Yi Zhongming, who has returned from the dead, is like a walking cheat code. Level 2 wheel that others can only look at but not touch. For him, it's a tempting treat that sets him apart. However, the noise generated when turning the wheel is too loud. He quickly attracted the pursuit of other forces. Luckily, Yi Zhongming had the protagonist's script in hand. In a state of 4 guns firing simultaneously, he managed to evade smoothly. Then, he leaped forward, wielded a 90-meter short knife, and plunged it into the wall. A Jackie Chan-style high-altitude descent. In the end, he landed smoothly without even messing up his hairstyle. But the current situation is still quite urgent. A melee is inevitable. But for Yi Zhongming, it's a piece of cake. Everyone sees this magnificent figure. Even the elites among the elites were stunned when they saw it. And the most important thing at the moment is to find a secluded place to take the level 2 strengthening potion. Therefore, Yi Zhongming did not engage in a battle. Instead, he fled first as a sign of respect. He hid in the pine forest, waiting for the right moment. However, there were pursuers everywhere. Even someone as strong as Yi Zhongming found himself in a dilemma, because improving the potion and completing the evolution would take at least 10 minutes. Now, he was in a difficult situation. If he did not break through forcefully, he would only end up being trapped. After making up his mind, Yi Zhongming took out the Hellhound summoning card he had obtained from the Pearl Lake battle. Then he threw it out directly. The card slowly shattered and dispersed. At the same time, a blue hexagram slowly rose. Then, a fierce-looking double-headed hellhound shone as it made its grand entrance. When the elites saw this monster in front of them, they thought the base had been breached by zombie monsters. They were all scared to the point of heartbeats pounding. Immediately following was a barrage of random shooting. In front of the hellhound with maxed-out agility attribute, this overwhelming shooting was considered futile. Not only could it not harm a single hair on it, but it also completely enraged it. On the other side, Yi Zhongming was still in a tough battle. He could only escape while using the summoning scroll to turn everything he touched into monsters. When he saw a BMW parked on the side of the road, Yi Zhongming was overjoyed. Then he directly used the summoning scroll on it. The next second, the BMW instantly transformed into Bumblebee Plus. Bumblebee continues to fight for Yi Zhongming, but it's like a drop in the bucket. For the current plan, he can only catch the leader to catch all the thieves first. On the other side, Cooker Jean and another boss, Chairman Wang, are plundering Yi Zhongming. They ordered their subordinates to indiscriminately shoot innocent civilians. The purpose is to leave Yi Zhongming with nowhere to escape. And at this moment, there is already a glowing 90-meter short knife behind them, ready to strike. By the time they realized, they have already reported to the underworld. Take out 2 big bosses in the base. Yi Zhongming can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Then he directly chugged down this bottle of 82-year-old level 2 evolution potion. Then with a bang, severe aftereffects arrived as expected. In the near future, people will need to rely on a wheel draw just to have a cup of 3-flower light milk. In the post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and empowerment. Zhongming, who has come back to life, is like a walking manual. He was the first to draw the level 2 evolution potion. When he took a gulp of it, intense pain followed immediately. Even someone as strong as Zhongming fell to the ground directly. But thankfully everything went smoothly. He became one of the rare 2-stars evolvers at the beginning of the apocalypse under the influence of Zhongming. The base is now in a mess. After a successful evolution, Zhongming can almost walk sideways here. He then met up with Flat-Top Bro and a few others to make the next plan. Several people gathered around the stove, brewing tea. Zhongming revealed his plan. "I want to take over this base. Buzzcut Guy, you will be the new owner of the base." Buzzcut Guy looks confused upon hearing this. When he heard that Zhongming took out the 2 previous bosses, he was even more shocked. And he was quite surprised by Zhongming choosing him as well. But very soon, under Zhongming's inspiration, he no longer hesitated. After a brief explanation by Zhongming, he turned around and left, leaving a group of people looking puzzled. And outside, explosions kept happening one after another. One of the 3 bosses, Li Chong, is embroiled in a bitter battle. The base has already entered a stage of mutual killing. Just as Li Chong is in a dilemma, Zhongming suddenly appeared by his side. Li Chong was startled like the 3rd emoji in your phone. When he recognized that the person was Zhongming, he put away his 70-meter short gun. He had no intention of being at odds with Zhongming because he knew Zhongming's current strength. And Zhongming was not polite to him either. He directly incorporated him. In this way, Buzzcut Guy got a capable assistant. Suddenly, a beautiful cluster of fireworks appeared in the sky. The panicked civilians fleeing thought that the zombies had entered the city. But the next moment, they heard Buzzcut Guy's passionate speech. Under his well-organized arrangements, the chaotic situation gradually stabilized. Zhongming was pleased to see their cooperation going so smoothly. But at this moment, Zhongming suddenly had a foreboding feeling. Afterwards, he immediately asked everyone to be quiet. Then he crouched on the ground to listen carefully, with a very serious expression. This surprised Flat-Top Bro and the others. Before they could react, Zhongming immediately ordered the people in the south area to evacuate. "Don't rush, but we must act quickly." Just by looking at his expression, you can tell that the situation is serious. Sure enough, the next second, a strong tremor was felt. But things have come to this. Zhongming still let Buzzcut Guy evacuate the people from the South District immediately. Then he instructed Daming to block off all the roads in the South District. The rest of the people followed Zhongming to ambush the impending sandworm nightmare. Sandworms themselves have a single ability, but they can quickly drill holes to destroy the foundation of the city walls. Once the walls collapse, what awaits them? It's the endless horde of zombies. In the near future, people even need a wheel to draw lots for eating a lobster. In a world where zombies roam freely, seizing the wheel has become the key to survival and empowerment. The resurrected Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. Now he is faced with the sandworms that can burrow through the ground. If not dealt with properly, they will be surrounded by zombies. There's no time to lose. Zhongming takes the lead by jumping first as a sign of respect. He first gave a standard demonstration. First, he directly chopped off its midsection legs, limit its movements, then leapt to its tail. At a distance of 2 fingers from the anus is the location of its heart. And when pulling out the knife, be sure to avoid the splashing blood. Otherwise, if contaminated, the body will become stiff. Watching Zhongming's smooth operation, Flat-Top Bro once again transformed into a little fanboy. However, at that moment, the ground shook violently again. Subsequently, sandworms emerged continuously from the ground, surrounding the few of them. Zhongming casually instructed the 5 of them to deal with the 3. Then, without looking back, he rushed towards the other 2. Just recruited Li Chong silently criticized that he actually let 5 1-star individuals deal with 3 level 2 exotic beasts. But the next second, Mo Yi and the others taught him what cooperation meant. Mo Yi, with Teacher Piao, diverted the attention of the other two sandworms, while the other three focused all their efforts on killing the isolated sandworm. Liang Qin pulled out an 80-meter short whip. She used the ancestral technique of horse reining pole. Then, she smoothly executed a spin and landed without splashing water. She smoothly made her way to the tail of the sandworm. In the moment before landing, Flat-Top Bro handed her an 80-meter short sword. Liang Qin moved from bottom to top and was ready to strike in just 3 seconds. But at this moment, the sandworm suddenly pulled a surprise attack, trying to catch her off guard. Fortunately, Li Chong made a timely move to cover her. Bang! He directly blocked Sandworm's sneak attack route. In the end, Liang Qin made a move and struck. One of the sandworms fell. Meanwhile, on the other side, Mo Yi kept engaging with the other two. With the assistance of Teacher Piao, the sandworm couldn't harm Mo Yi in the slightest. The two women finally held on until Flat-Top Bro and his group arrived to support them. Yi Zhongming saw how well they cooperated and came to offer comfort. But the next moment, his face darkened, because the scene in front of him once again filled him with dread. The group of zombies outside the city had already made their way in through the ruins. Yi Zhongming quickly helped them deal with the remaining sandworms to show them the current situation. It was evident that this group of zombies seemed organized and premeditated. They used the sandworms to attack the same location. Then, all the zombies converged on that spot. Seeing this scene, Yi Zhongming also found himself in a dilemma. And just at this moment, a familiar voice came from nearby. It was Xiao Lei, who had just become an evolver, and she brought a solution. She pointed towards 2 tall buildings ahead and looked at the explosives she had brought. As long as those 2 tall buildings were blown up in the same direction, they can block the entrance from the South District to other areas. In the near future, people will need to rely on wheel lottery even to eat a can of sardines. In the end of the world where zombies rampage, seizing the wheel becomes the key to power and survival. Yi Zhongming, who has come back to life, now facing a situation of being surrounded by zombies. He was seen wielding a 90-meter short blade. Then he leaped forward, diving straight into the crowd of zombies for hand-to-hand combat, all in order to buy some time. Xiao Lei can only set up the explosives. By blowing up the tall building, he can block the way for the zombies. Inspired by Yi Zhongming, everyone in the base united as one, jumping down one after another. Following Yi Zhongming is definitely the right choice. For a moment, everyone was high-spirited and fought the zombie horde with ease. However, they were all not enhanced and faced various mutated creatures, making it somewhat ineffective. Luckily, there is Yi Zhongming supporting us like Mount Tai. Yi Zhongming is supported by Teacher Piao and stands in the front to facilitate an orderly retreat for everyone. At this time, Li Chong is conducting surveillance from above. He discovered that there seems to be a leader behind the group of zombies. Yi Zhongming's expression darkened after hearing this. He seemed to realize that the other party was a tricky opponent. Sure enough, the leader of the other party is none other than the former leader of that armed group, Leader Yi. But now, he seems to have turned into a zombie face. Under his command, the zombie horde became more ferocious in battle. After Liang Qin unleashed raging madness several times, everyone also gradually showed signs of physical exhaustion. Fortunately, Yi Zhongming always shows up at critical moments. Before she could even offer a kiss of gratitude, Yi Zhongming packed her up and handed her over to Teacher Piao before instructing everyone to retreat back to the ruins. The rest was left up to him alone. Yi Zhongming, without having to consider his other companions. He was like opening floodgates. He single-handedly held back the menacing horde of zombies. No one could open the door when one man stands guard. In fact, this is related to the elemental stone he drew before. He consumed the elemental stone before enhancing 2 stars. He obtained the attributes of Fountain of Stamina. Both the speed of stamina recovery and endurance have doubled. While he was killing the zombies, he was also recovering his stamina. However, the group of zombies seemed even more relentless. They rushed towards Zhongming in an instant. The few people watching on the side all had fear written on their faces. Only 3 seconds. Just like wrapping Zhongzi. Zombies wrapped Zhongming so tightly that not even a breath can get through. Li Chong thought that Zhongming was more likely to cause harm than bring good fortune. He was about to turn around and leave. Mo Yi suddenly exclaimed in surprise. "Quick, look over there." Just saw zombie burst into flames. In the blink of an eye, they were burned to ashes. Meanwhile, Zhongming leisurely walked out. When Zhongming stood up again, everyone looked at him in disbelief. Li Chong, who had just wanted to leave, suddenly regained his spirits. He informed Zhongming that the explosives had been set up. In the end, with the efforts of Xiao Lei and a few others, they finally managed to block the path for the zombie group. The defense of the base will eventually achieve victory. Following that, Zhongming appeared in front of Buzzcut Guy. He grabbed her delicate white hand. "Present him with a bottle filled with love and care evolution potion. Now you are the boss around here." In the near future, people even need to rely on the wheel lottery to drink a bottle of Baishui Mountain in the near future. In the world where zombies roam, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and reinforcement. Zhongming, who has been reborn, always seems to be one step ahead. Just finished a zombie siege battle. Zhongming took a few people to do what they dared not do before. They arrived at a bank. Then Zhongming pulled out a 90-centimeter short knife. He clicked the vault door twice. The huge marble steel door crumbled instantly. Then he led the team to sweep the vault. When Flat Op Bro saw an emerald worth 2 million, he felt like he was going to make a fortune. But the next second, he was pulled back to reality by Xiao Lei. Nowadays, 2 million is only equivalent to a few kilograms of toilet paper. And Zhongming came here. He is just here to find something. It's about the two strong men who were acting arrogantly in the previous episodes. The bald one eventually told Zhongming in order to save his life. There is a Type 88 sniper rifle stored here. In the apocalypse, firearms are much more valuable than emeralds. Zhongming closed the gun case satisfied. Then he asked others to go to the ruined city wall first and wait. He prepared to remove the magic crystal from the zombies killed today, while he himself went to prepare another weapon. He arrived alone next to a morgue. In the apocalypse, there is usually a place for handling corpses, but the new base area had just been established a few days ago. Zhongming was truly shocked to see so many corpses gathered here. He then arrived next to the two strange cattle. Click! He directly decapitated them, and the dark red blood continuously gathered in the pool of blood, causing the bald man nearby to skip a heartbeat. Yes, Zhongming was preparing materials for basic puppet art. First, 500 kilograms of blood is needed. Secondly, a dying person is required. Zhongming was seen walking quickly towards the bald man. Then, he raised a 90-meter short knife. He looked at him coldly. He scared the bald man so much that he cried for his parents. But just as he was about to strike, Zhongming found that there was still movement in the mass grave. Upon closer inspection, he realized it was a miracle, as the woman in front of him was still barely alive. She was the woman who had been dragged away by the two bald men that day. Now, letting her hang on to her last breath was probably because she wanted to personally take the life of that bald man. Zhongming didn't say a word. He directly carried the woman towards the prepared blood pool. At this moment, the bald man was completely dominated by fear. Tears of cowardice flowed directly from his nose. Zhongming was seen slowly placing the woman into the blood pool. He then threw in a few level 2 magic crystals. Then he fed the woman another bottle of evolution potion. After all preparations were done, he proceeded with the final combination step, only to see the woman's eyes losing their luster. A black energy instantly engulfed her. The next second, the woman opened her eyes again. In their place were dark and profound eyes. Then with a loud bang, the woman emerged from the pool of blood, completely changing her previously gentle demeanor. Her hair also turned blood red. Yi Zhongming is very satisfied. Next, we need to test its power. Then Yi Zhongming pointed to the bald man in the corner. Before the bald man could react and beg for mercy, Woman Iron Corpse directly cut him in half. In the near future, people even need to rely on wheel to draw lots for a bottle of Jiaduobo. In the post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. Yi Zhongming, who has been reborn, seizes all the resources. Create Woman Puppet Iron Corpse at the beginning of the apocalypse. She works tirelessly without feeling physical pain or limitations. She is definitely a killing machine in the apocalypse. After finishing, Yi Zhongming regrouped with the team. Seeing a woman standing behind him, his loyal fan Liang Chuyin immediately initiated a soul interrogation. However, Yi Zhongming brushed past her under the pretext of dealing with urgent matters first. The current priority is to dig for magic crystals, with Yi Zhongming taking the lead in diverting the zombies, while the others scavenge. The two most fragile individuals are in charge of lighting up the area. Flathop Bro was amazed to see the red-haired woman following Yi Zhongming. He couldn't help but sigh at the boss's power again. Even Yi Zhongming was very satisfied. This is truly a human weapon. Not only is her strength astonishing, even her fingernails are weapons. And she also has thick skin and strong muscles. Amazing defense. It probably wouldn't be a problem for her to face a regular level 2 evolver. But the commotion is getting louder and louder. It's attracting more and more zombies. The group did not linger in battle. They retreated immediately. They used the more than 1,000 level 1 magic crystals they picked up to draw over 20 bottles of 1-star evolution potion, and then asked Buzzcut Guy to bring along those who performed well in defense during the battle. Distribute them all to them. But at the same time, they also need to come to support the battle the next day. The inherent human nature is to seek advantages and avoid disadvantages. Out of the 13 people who obtained evolution, only 7 showed up the next day. If this cannot be resolved this time, Buzzcut Guy will not be able to gain the trust of the base. Yi Zhongming gave him 3 suggestions. If you do not obey, you will be killed. Under the careful guidance of Yi Zhongming, Buzzcut Guy finally took that step. He broke through the psychological defense line. Killing those who disobeyed orders also served as a warning. Afterwards, the reconstruction work proceeded methodically. At this time, Yi Zhongming and others were quietly observing. Emo, you did not understand what Yi Zhongming was looking at. Yi Zhongming then smiled slightly, indicating that he was looking for someone. This left Mo Yi and Xiao Lei puzzled. If Yi Zhongming's guess was correct, the previous wave of organized attacks by the zombies surrounding the city, it's probably related to the brain worm. Although individually they are not powerful, but they are good at hiding and ambushing. They also erode the host's consciousness in order to control the host's brain, and can also control the magic crystal life. Just saw Yi Zhongming suddenly cut his wrist. Mo Yi on the side thought Yi Zhongming had gone crazy when he saw that. But in fact, he was just luring the snake out of its hole. He used his own blood to attract the zombies over. Thus, they found the mastermind brain worm controlling the zombies. Attracted by the fresh blood, a large group of zombies kept pouring in this direction. Following closely behind were Yi Zhongming and a few others. Soon, Yi Zhongming leaped back to the first line of defense. Ordered Liang Chuyin to command, only need to fill the trench, and then they can retreat. On the other side, Yi Zhongming, carrying the Di Huang pill and the iron corpse, is searching for the brain worm based on Yi Zhongming's understanding of the brain worm. Its target must be its own level 2 evolved self. And the reason for finding it actually makes sense, just like the elemental stone. Because brain worm is also a great supplement that can be consumed. In the near future, people have to rely on the wheel to draw lots even for eating caviar in the near future. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and empowerment. Yi Zhongming, who has been brought back to life, is like a walking guidebook. Knowing that brain worm is a great supplement, Yi Zhongming searched high and low to find it, with the support of the dog's nose for the Di-Huang pill. Zhongming quickly found the lucky one controlled by Brain Worm. When he saw that it was Captain Yi, he was also surprised. And standing guard beside him, at this moment, was the level 300 armed zombie. No wonder there was no movement when Zhongming appeared. Without saying a word, he acted swiftly. Facing the level 3 exotic beast, Zhongming did not hesitate. He unleashed the strongest flame blade as soon as he arrived, only to see the raging flames engulf the 100-armed zombie in an instant. But the next second, the 100-armed zombie appeared unscathed in front of him. This is also the first time Flame Blade couldn't defeat an enemy instantly. However, Zhongming did not feel surprised. Zhongming was attacked. The 100-armed zombie also let out a roar. And Zhongming joined forces with the Huang pill to charge at it together. Zhongming's 90-meter short knife was directly thrust under its suddenly emerging red tongue. And the Di Huang pill bit its hand tightly. But it also did not get away unscathed. In the next second, it was thrown 100 meters away. Indeed, one cannot underestimate a level 3 exotic beast. But Zhongming was not worried. He instead appeared calm and composed. He just smiled slightly, seemingly unafraid of the 100-armed zombie at the moment. Zhongming directly ordered Di Huang pill to attack Captain Yi. Seeing Di Huang pill acting like a mad dog, the 100-armed zombie disregarded Zhongming and turned to attack Di Huang pill. Its sexy little red tongue wrapped around Di Huang pill. But it did not expect that Di Huang pill's ultimate move is actually long range. The strengthened fine needles with dense threads stabbed straight towards Captain Yi. And the 100-armed zombie was unable to help either. It could only watch helplessly as the sharp needles pierced Captain Yi. But on the other side, Zhongming did not stand idly by. He raised a 90-meter short sword. With a click, taking advantage of the 100-armed zombie's distraction, he directly cut its small red tongue into two. Not only that, he also used the small red tongue as leverage, stabbing straight at the 100-armed zombie's green eye. But just at that moment, a meteorite flew from outer space towards Zhongming. This directly disrupted Zhongming's rhythm, forcing him to retreat hundreds of miles away. Seeing that the newcomer turned out to be the dual-powered demon in human form, Little Demon, who possessed immense strength. It is good at throwing. The bear-shaped big demon has strong vitality and excels in close combat. The situation at this moment once again fell into a state of confusion. Seeing the sudden emergence of the new exotic beast Zhongming, I can't help but admire the intelligence of Brain Worm. Afraid there may be more level 2 creatures lurking in the forest. But at this point, he had no way back. Zhongming ordered Di Huang pill to entangle the dual-powered demon. And he took out his killer move to deal with the 100-armed zombie's next move. It's a decisive battle. In the near future, people will need to rely on a wheel to draw lots, even to eat a black abalone. In a post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, fighting for the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. Zhongming, who has come back to life. He learned from the information gap that Brain Worm is a great tonic. But he encountered multiple obstacles when trying to capture it. Facing the level 3 exotic beast 100-armed zombie Zhongming, he had to resort to using his trump card. He saw him take out the spatial crystal. He summoned a metal ball called osmium from inside. Then he used the basic summoning scroll to instantly transform the metal ball into a human form. After that, there was a loud bang. It smashed directly onto the body of the 100-armed zombie. The crushed 100-armed zombie kept gasping for air, completely immobilized. Zhongming smiled and patiently explained some knowledge to it. The metal man currently pressed on its body. It is made using osmium as the material, and osmium happens to be the densest naturally occurring element. This osmium has a volume of over 50 cubic decimeters. It weighs a whole ton. Later, Zhongming took out a 90-meter short knife. He fiercely stabbed it in the eye. He also did not forget to dig out its magic crystal. Seeing the defeated 100-armed zombie dual-powered demon also became anxious. Without saying a word, it charged straight towards Zhongming. But it was blocked by the metal man. On the other side, Iron Corpse is fighting with Captain Yi controlled by Brain Worm. Captain Yi, who has lost her protection, is no match for her at all. With a click, Captain Yi's head was twisted off instantly. And at this moment, Yi Zhongming yelled for Iron Corpse to quickly throw away the head to prevent being parasitized by Brain Worm. And at this moment, Captain Yi, who was now just ahead, suddenly drilled out a small object. Correct. It is the main body of the Brain Worm. Seeing the main body come out, Yi Zhongming rushed towards it. But the Brain Worm is still struggling in its dying moments. At this critical moment, it unleashes a sonic wave attack. It takes the opportunity to block Yi Zhongming from getting closer. Then it urgently summons a zombie to protect itself in the gap. But the next second, Iron Corpse appeared in front of Yi Zhongming to stop them. Yi Zhongming then revealed a look of knowing he had Yu in his grasp. Outside the besieged city at the same time, the group of zombies suddenly retreated in a daze, as if they had regained consciousness. Seeing their unanimous retreat, the crowd also thought it must be Yi Zhongming's doing. At this time, Liang Chuyin also issued a call to attack the retreating zombies while they were in disarray. Then everyone jumped up directly. On the other side, Yi Zhongming was chasing the fleeing Brain Worm and quickly arrived at the edge of the cliff. Brain Worm saw no way out. It was sweating profusely. At this moment, Yi Zhongming took out the spatial crystal again. Summoning a fire extinguisher, he then sprayed it towards the dengue fever water from last night and choked it out. This is its fatal weakness. As long as it comes into contact with the substance in the fire extinguisher, it will stiffen all over, and also lose its parasitic ability. At this point, Brain Worm, with no way out, begs for mercy using its mind. Later, under the care and love of Yi Zhongming, Brain Worm stopped the actions of other zombies. With many zombies watching, Yi Zhongming managed to capture it as if coaxing a child. In the near future, people even need to rely on Wheel to draw lots to get a bottle of Red Bull. In the end of the world where zombies roam, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. Born again, Yi Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. Without much effort, he effortlessly captures the precious item Brain Worm, then uses Di Huang Pill and Iron Corpse to clear the scene. However, just at this moment, Yi Zhongming noticed that Iron Corpse seemed a bit strange. She was seen eating magic crystal voraciously. He speculated that Iron Corpse probably evolves by consuming magic crystal. Yi Zhongming drove the Brain Worm into a specially made box. Then he took Di Huang Pill and Iron Corpse back to the capital. And at this time, the crowd was gathered together counting the day's gains. Flat Op Bro sees the shiny magic crystal in front of him. He couldn't help but show excitement on his face. In front of him were a full 15,000 level 1 magic crystals. After hearing this specific number, Flat Top Bro was also dumbfounded. Yi Zhongming sat calmly on the side. He arranged for Flat Top Bro to take 5,000 magic crystals tomorrow to trade at Wheel, with an initial estimate of being able to exchange for around 100 evolution potions. He allocated 50 of them to Buzzcut Guy for distribution. Then he asked him to arrange manpower to continue hunting zombies tomorrow. After tomorrow, Yi Zhongming and his group will leave. Buzzcut Guy will take over full control here. Before Buzzcut Guy could even react, Yi Zhongming turned around and left, signaling him to accept reality. The next day, Yi Zhongming took out the Brain Worm he captured yesterday and revealed a strange smile. The Brain Worm is a very intelligent creature. It instantly understood his intentions. It had to emit brainwave signals in order to survive. Controlling a group of zombies gathered outside the city wall, waiting quietly for their orders to attack. It took no effort at all for everyone to take them down one by one. Brain Worm at this moment thought Yi Zhongming would spare it because of this. But Yi Zhongming pulled out a 90-centimeter short sword. He uttered a profound statement. "I heard that you taste like chicken." The innocent Brain Worm perished. After everything is settled, Yi Zhongming and his group leave in a green sedan. Buzzcut Guy and Fatty are left shivering in the wind. In the car, Zhongming began to envision plans for the future. The next stop is Cloud Top Manor in Ing City, the neighboring province. At this stop, we can at least have a stable development for 2 years. And before that, we need to go pick up someone. Night fell quickly. Zhongming and a few others arrived at their destination smoothly. After surveying the area, they found that the security here was tight and well organized. If it weren't for Zhongming's rebirth, it would have been difficult to compare with it. Later on, Zhongming invited Xiao Lei with a slight touch of embarrassment. He asked her to accompany him into the city to complete the mission tomorrow. The reason for his embarrassment? Because he needs Xiao Lei to dress like this. I have to say, clothes really make the man. Compared to his usual cold demeanor, Xiao Lei actually hides so deep. Sure enough, it was right to bring her as bait. After a thorough inspection, the two of them entered the city smoothly. Sure enough, it turned out as Zhongming expected. In the last days, one can see such stunning beauty. She quickly attracted the attention of someone interested. Xiao Lei deliberately walked alone. Instantly, she brought out the person Zhongming was looking for. Just when everyone was wondering why Xiao Lei was so calm, Zhongming walked out slowly from behind. In the near future, people will even need to rely on Wheel to draw lots to eat a piece of spicy snack. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and strength. Under the loving guidance of Zhongming, wearing a tight Xiao Lei himself, she instantly felt much cooler. She attracted a group of bees and butterflies as she wished. And at this moment, Zhongming walked out calmly. The gangsters thought Zhongming was overestimating his abilities, and planned to play the hero to save the beauty. But the next second, only to see Zhongming throw a left hook, a right hook. In addition to the Japanese straight punch from IP Man's true transmission, he then directly knocked down several people. Zhongming is known as a level 2 enhancer. The leading man was directly scared stiff upon learning this information. He even used the highest adult etiquette to pay respect to Zhongming. Zhongming glared at him fiercely. He asked him to reveal the location where Sheng Yuan was being held. Under some coaxing, the man directly disclosed that Sheng Yuan was in the basement of the county's southern grain depot. The Sheng Yuan mentioned by Zhongming is actually his teammate from before his rebirth. On the other side of the grain depot, 2 guards were discussing the imprisoned Sheng Yuan. It is said that he did it for a woman. He killed the boss's lover. He even specially arranged for a nurse to prolong his life, just to make him suffer here. Just as the two of them were discussing happily, Zhongming and Xiao Lei swaggered in. The 2 guards immediately assumed a fighting stance. Zhongming just glanced casually at Xiao Lei before heading straight to the basement. Then he grabbed the nurse's throat with one hand. There was a click. She didn't even finish her greeting before heading straight for the underworld. When she saw Sheng Yuan, covered in bruises, memories of their life and death struggles flooded her mind. Zhongming's profession before his rebirth was archer, responsible for long-range attacks. Sheng Yuan, on the other hand, was a shield man, a defensive warrior who could withstand almost any damage. The two can be described as the perfect duo. It wasn't until one mission where he took multiple fatal blows for himself that he received his lunch box. Now Zhongming, with the memories of his previous life, finally managed to reunite with his former best friend. Then he directly hugged her like a princess and walked out slowly, seeing Xiao Lei already wiping the knife. Indeed, the amount of clothes does not affect her combat power. Then the two of them swaggered away again. After a while, the base leader Huang Shijie saw several corpses in front of him. He immediately flew into a rage. A total of 6 evolvers. Just like slaughtering chickens and dogs. And at this moment, a man with sunglasses and dressed in white stepped out. He analyzed the autopsy report with Huang Shijie. They could roughly estimate Zhongming's strength. Crushing a level 1 evolver is a piece of cake. While Huang Shijie displayed a respectful attitude towards the man in white. This also proves that the man's strength should not be underestimated. Watching the man walk away, the son couldn't understand why his father didn't keep the man in white for their own use. However, he was unaware of the price the man needed to pay to stay. That is a price that even the leader of the base finds difficult to bear. In the near future, people even have to rely on wheel to draw lots for eating a strip of grouper. In the apocalypse where zombies rampage, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. Zhongming, who is reborn, always takes the lead. In the heavily guarded tiger's den, he rescued his best friend from the previous life, Sheng Yuan, and returned to the temporary luxury tent. Sheng Yuan finally woke up from the nightmare. Before he could regain his senses, a man's caring voice suddenly came from behind him. It was none other than Zhongming. At this moment, Sheng Yuan had no idea who Zhongming was, and Zhongming was not in a hurry to show affection to him. Regarding strangers, painting a big picture is the most comfortable way to start. Sure enough, seeing Zhongming's strength, Sheng Yuan compared to the previous leader, he agreed without hesitation to let Zhongming take a rest. Zhongming, along with several others, set off into the mountains. As a gesture of goodwill, Zhongming made a special shield for Sheng Yuan, adding metal to it, making the shield highly durable. He also added ghost metal to activate its self-healing ability. This shield that Sheng Yuan is using now is even better than the one he had in the previous life. Indeed, when this shield is used by Sheng Yuan's subordinates, it is as smooth as cutting cake. Before long, the group arrived at the location Zhongming mentioned. What appeared before their eyes was a uniquely shaped wheel, the Devil's Bet more colors wheel that Zhongming had been longing for. The Devil's Bet represents risk, while the Prosperity wheel represents treasure. To achieve high returns, one must face high risks. Zhongming then began to assign tasks. Teacher Piao is responsible for assisting Sheng Yuan with the shield in times of danger, while Melody Master and others will stay 500 meters away and cannot approach. This also means that the level of danger this time is extremely high. Sheng Yuan and Iron Corpse stood at the forefront without any suspense. In the end, he said to everyone, "After this battle, I may not be able to participate in any fights for a while." Then Zhongming took out a level 2 magic crystal and inserted it directly into the slot. The next moment, Devil's Bet emitted a dazzling light, and one of the boxes kept spinning. After a moment, the final result appeared. It's a screaming cage. As long as you open the cage, you will receive a distinct war pet with unique abilities. Comparatively speaking, the Di Huang pill can maintain its relationship with Zhongming only after mutating due to their deep emotional bond. However, once the feelings change, it can turn hostile. On the other hand, the war pet from the screaming cage needs to follow the rules of war pet. It must obey its owner completely, even to the point of dying when the owner dies. The function of the Di Huang pill is very single-minded, basically born for battle. The Screaming War Pet also has other powerful auxiliary functions. Then, Zhongming continues to put coins in, only to see the other two boxes on the other side start to rotate. Then under Zhongming's repeated urging, the box above suddenly stopped. Inside, there appeared the shadow of a lion. Then, with a loud bang, a blue light shot out. It exploded not far away and dissipated after the smoke cleared. A blood-red lion suddenly appeared in front of everyone. In the near future, people need to rely on a wheel to draw lots even for eating a blue can cookie in the near future. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies rampage, seizing the wheel becomes crucial for survival and power. Zhongming, who returned from rebirth, is like an encyclopedia. He used his memory to find the oddly shaped Devil's Bet and then cast a pile of magic crystals into it. The box with the wheel starts to spin. When one of the boxes displays a lion pattern, suddenly, a blue light shoots out from the box. The newcomer is level 3 Flame Lion. Zhongming immediately orders Sheng Yuan to activate the blocking mode. Sheng Yuan, who serves as the meat shield man, truly displays an unstoppable force, like a lone warrior guarding a narrow pass against 1,000 troops. Zhongming continued to focus on the remaining boxes. Soon, another box stopped spinning. The pattern that appeared on it was that of Xiaohua from Guangdong. Then with a bang, a hard sharp blade pierced the ground. Then appeared in front of everyone. It was Bugman of level 3. Zhongming quickly emphasized to teammates that both Flame Lion's flames and Bugman's acid must be watched out for. Meanwhile, the last box also stopped spinning. Same as the first box, it is a screaming cage. Sure enough, as the main character, Zhongming's luck is still great. Then, Zhongming directly took out the spatial crystal. He summoned a large piece of metal, and used the basic summoning scroll, transforming the metal into a giant white. The metal giant stood towering on the ground. It stared fixedly at the cute Bugman. But it's far more than that. Zhongming once again used a summoning scroll on another piece of metal, and then a giant sword of earth rose from the ground. He grabbed the heavy sword in his hand. It charged directly towards Flame Lion. And at this moment, Zhongming did not stop his summoning. Under the summoning spell, the mud beneath his feet began to wriggle incessantly. After a moment, a mud monster suddenly appeared behind Sheng Yuan. After making all the preparations, Zhongming grabbed a 90-meter short knife and rushed out. Then he leapt above Bugman. The flame blade in his hand was already ready to unleash. Then with a swift motion, a blazing fireball pounced towards Bugman below. This is also the last thing Zhongming can do for everyone. After the raging fire burns out, it will be left to Flat Top Bro and his associates. Then, a great battle between men, lions, and insects will begin. Zhongming took out a level 2 magic crystal to set the pattern. When Devil's Bet shows 2 identical patterns, you can use a high-level magic crystal to fix it. Then, rotate the rest of the different boxes until all 4 patterns are the same or the time is up. But at the same time, the spinner also needs to be fixed in front of the wheel until winning or ending. Therefore, this battle can only rely on the teammates behind. This is also the charm of Devil's Bet: high risk, high return. In the near future, people will even need to rely on Wheel of Fortune to eat a package of instant noodles. In the post-apocalyptic world ravaged by zombies, seizing the wheel has become the key to survival and power in the era of the rampant zombies. Zhongming, who has returned to life, is like a walking map. Get ahead and find Devil's Bet, which represents luck. He can turn the rotating pattern into a solid exotic beast to launch an attack. The more times it rotates, the more exotic beasts there will be. If a complete rotation does not yield the same boxes and rewards, 3 advanced exotic beasts will appear. During the first rotation of Devil's Bet, Zhongming drew a level 3 Flame Lion and Bugman, allowing him to maintain control of the situation. When it's time for the second round of the fixed rotation, as long as the fixed rotation takes place, the one doing the rotation will be bound. If others cannot stop the attack of the exotic beast, the one doing the rotation will undoubtedly die. At this moment, Sheng Yuan is standing at the forefront, acting as the lone barrier against the fierce flames of the Flame Lion. Meanwhile, Zhongming has summoned 3 giant metal golems. They then charge directly towards the Flame Lion and Bugman Flat Top Bro, questioning why Zhongming does not let others rotate. However, how could Zhongming not have thought of that? Because the person rotating must be at least level 1 higher than the magic crystal activator, and currently only Zhongming is a level 2 evolver. Not only that, to match the reward pattern on all 4 boxes, a fixed round is also required. Just then, the wheel starts spinning rapidly. A moment later, one of them stops. The appearance remains Bugman's pattern. The next moment, a level 2 Mantis Man appears in front of everyone. The next second, the nightmare strikes again. Another level 3 Nada appears. At this point, Zhongming's mentality also collapsed. Now everyone is facing 3 level 3 and 1 level 2, but there is no way out. Zhongming had to continue with the third round of rotation. But the first one to come out is still a nightmare. It's the level 3 heavy armor sword skeleton. Zhongming instructed everyone to focus their firepower on the level 3 bugman first, while the other 3 level 3 exotic beasts would be blocked by summoned creatures. Then, everyone started attacking the level 3 bugman. Sure enough, under the concentrated firepower, the level 3 bugmen kept screaming in pain. Bugmen decisively switched from attacking to defending and planned to leave the effective range. But just at that moment, the best assist, Di Huang Pill, suddenly appeared and bit its foot, hindering Bugman. Bugman finally lived for 3 minutes. Defeat one level 3 Bugman Di Huang Pill, and Iron Corpse quickly retreats. At the same time, Flame Lion takes the opportunity to bite and shatter the giant swordsman. The white giant also gets mercilessly pierced through by the Naga. And the mud beast is beaten into a pulp within just a breath. The battle once again falls into a dire situation. There are few armor-piercing bullets left now. After careful consideration by Xiao Lei, she decided to concentrate firepower first to solve level 2 bugmen and maximize limited resources. Very soon, level 2 bugmen lived for 4 minutes. Zhongming was satisfied with Xiao Lei's judgment. At this moment, the last box also started to rotate. After a moment, the reward that appeared was none other than the screaming cage. What now? Only the final reward pattern is left. In the near future, people will need to rely on the wheel to draw lots even for a snack like onesies small steamed buns. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies are rampant, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. The reborn Zhongming is like a walking secret technique. He quickly found Devil's Bet, which represents luck. After a few rounds, Zhongming had already used up 4 level 3 exotic beasts. Just as everyone was feeling anxious, Will was just one pattern away from winning the prize. The second round began. Zhongming prayed fervently for luck. But the next second, a familiar light appeared. It was the level 3 Miss Sunflower. A moment later, another level 3 bloodstained zombie appeared. But fortunately, the next 2 were only level 2 Mantis Man and Heya. As soon as one wave subsides, another one rises. The loyal fan Liang Chuyin thinks that Zhongming is eager for the big finale. But at this point, Zhongming is even more helpless. He can only grit his teeth and continue. The wheel continues to turn in this dire situation. A screaming cage pattern stopped amidst 1,000 calls and requests. Zhongming's excitement at this moment was like rushing rivers. A moment later, a small square box emitting golden light appeared in front of him. Without examining it carefully, Zhongming crushed and used it directly. With a bang, a wild energy surged around Zhongming. The next moment, a cute and silly war pet named Rumbling Engineer appeared in front of him. Zhongming looked at the lump of iron in front of him. He was speechless in an instant. Damn it! Almost all the troops have been defeated, and you give me this crappy wheel to play with. But at this moment, Zhongming could only suppress the anger in his heart. He believed that robots could not be judged by appearance. Then he directly gave it the attack command. But the next second, a soft mechanical sound suddenly rang out. Dear, I am low on power. Please insert the startup power supply. Goodness gracious. This chunk of iron is proudly named War Pet. But it looks just like those rocking cars in the mall for kids to play with. Then Zhongming directly threw in a level 1 magic crystal. At the moment when the magic crystal slipped into the anal opening, with a swish, an 80-meter short gun appeared out of thin air. Zhongming looked at this little thing in front of him, feeling a chill in his heart. But the current situation in the battle was not optimistic. Standing at the forefront of defense, Sheng Yuan was overwhelmed by the relentless fire attacks of Flame Lion. He was on the verge of collapse, with every breath dripping with blood. At this moment, Zhongming could only wield his 90-meter short knife to fight back. But at this moment, a small thing nearby emitted a delicate mechanical sound, continuously shouting at Zhongming to select a target for attack. Feeling impatient, Zhongming casually pointed at the level 3 Miss Sunflower, the little thing that received the instruction. It immediately raised the 80-meter short cannon in front and aimed at Miss Sunflower. With a bang, a powerful energy burst forth directly from the short cannon. It directly shot through Miss Sunflower's neck with one shot. Seeing this scene, the truth that robots should not be judged by their appearance is indeed true. This little thing's short cannon. At least it will appear as a reward in a 4-star wheel. In the near future, people will even need to rely on the wheel to draw a bottle of Lao Gon Ma. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, snatching the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. Zhongming, who always comes back to life, is always one step ahead. He did so at the cost of summoning 6 level 3 exotic beasts. Zhongming finally succeeded in obtaining this little thing named Rumbling Engineer from Devil's Bet, when he threw in a level 1 magic crystal. Its power could penetrate the neck of a level 3 Miss Sunflower. Zhongming immediately thought, what would happen if he used a level 2 magic crystal? Then he directly took out a level 2 magic crystal and threw it in. The electric eyes of the little thing lit up again. After a moment, a fully charged 92 energy cannon entered the ready state. On the other side, although the Miss Sunflower was seriously injured, dealing with a few level 1 individuals was still a piece of cake for it. He was in a slightly better situation with Liang Qin serving as a buffer. But Flat Top Bro is not looking good. He crashed directly into the big tree. Fortunately, there is Teacher Piao, the medical support, there to help. At this time, Zhongming also wielded a 90-meter short knife. He was dealing with Nada, who was also using a knife. When he heard the cannon of the little thing was about to be ready, he then ordered it to fire at the heavy armor sword skeleton. It hadn't even introduced itself yet. It just went straight ahead and fired a cannon shot. When it realized what had happened, its body and head were separated, and its soul was smoking. Just recovered Flat Top Bro couldn't help but exclaim in amazement when he saw it. Zhongming, on the other hand, was not surprised. He ran to insert a coin and gave orders for the battle arrangement. Sheng Yuan was in charge of Flame Lion, while the others were responsible for the 2 level 2 creatures. Iron Corpse and Di Huang Pill are in charge of Bloodstained Zombie, while he continues to insert coins for the small creatures. Then he himself restrains Naga to facilitate accurate hits. The abacus being so scheming can even be heard by this YouTuber. But the next second, the delicate mechanical voice sounded again. Warning, warning. I need to cool down for a while. Zhongming's heart galloped once again. How the hell does this damn robot always mess up at critical moments? But now that things have come to this, we have to change our strategy. Contract formation. Let everyone return to their position. Sheng Yuan activated the loud voice boost mode. He relied solely on volume to blast away Flame Lion, while Teacher Piao kept adding shields and healing to him. Fortunately, Zhongming fed her brain worm powder. Otherwise, her mental strength would have been depleted long ago. A moment later, everyone gathered around Zhongming. At this moment, Zhongming's eyes were bloodshot. If it weren't for this little thing dropping the ball at a crucial moment. Zhongming also didn't want to take the step. Shortly after, Zhongming took out a 90-meter short knife. A flame surrounded the knife. It's Zhongming's mark-sealing flame blade. A ball of fire flew towards the exotic beasts. Zhongming then rushed directly towards the injured Miss Sunflower. And Miss Sunflower reacted in time. It sprayed out highly concentrated acid. But alas, it was still no match for Zhongming's 90-meter short knife. It couldn't last for more than 3 seconds. It was taken down by Zhongming in the second. After that, Zhongming took out a level 3 magic crystal. He summoned something like a bomb from the spatial crystal. Then he summoned everyone again to form a defensive formation. And he returned to Devil's Bet. Since we are going to gamble, let's gamble big. In the near future, people will need to rely on a wheel to draw even a cigarette. In a post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power in the world of the undead. The resurrected Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. He was the first to find the Devil's Bet, which symbolizes luck. He successfully summoned the Rumbling Engineer. Its power is enough to easily kill a level 3 exotic beast, but it failed at a critical moment. Zhongming had to take a desperate gamble. He turned the Devil's Bet wheel again as it spun rapidly. A new round of crisis unfolded. The first box representing the reward stopped. However, the pattern on it was something even the post-apocalyptic encyclopedia Zhongming did not recognize. But now, he didn't care about anything else. Whatever appeared on the roulette wheel had to be accounted for. At this moment, the expressions on the faces of the crowd fell into helplessness again. Because of Zhongming's endless recklessness, several more level 3 exotic beasts were added again. Flattop Bro saw bombs strewn all over the ground. He also guessed Zhongming's intentions. Zhongming planned to gather all the exotic beasts together. Just cook them all in one pot. Very soon, good news was also heard from Wheels' side. But 2 box patterns are still missing from completion. Therefore, the Zhongyuan few can only continue to hold their ground, facing the crazy bombardment of multiple level 3 exotic beasts. Liang Chuyan's finishing move can only be considered scratching an itch. Soon, he was injured by the thorns on his left foot. With a thud, he fell heavily to the ground due to weightlessness. Fortunately, at that critical moment, Xiao Lei bravely pulled him back. Even the thick-skinned and thick-meat iron corpse. It was also ruthlessly split into 2. Xiao Lei, who saw this scene. She could only continue to urge Zhongming at this moment, when the wheel had entered the white-hot stage. There was only 1 box left. And at this moment, when Mou was bandaging Liang Chuyan, they were suddenly attacked by a sneak attack of thorns. The already desperate team was further pushed into a corner. Zhongming could only pray to the gods and Buddhas at this time. It turned out that his plea reached my ears as a YouTuber. Soon, I bestowed blessings upon him as well. As the final reward icon appeared, finally successfully obtained the reward. Afterwards, Zhongming didn't bother to look closely at the reward. Instead, he kicked the bomb directly towards the exotic beasts. Then he urged Sheng Yuan to use the skill, Unmovable Rock, at Zhongming's command. Sheng Yuan activated the Unmovable Rock skill, which maximized his defensive power. Swish, 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 swish. The shield split into 2 and then 4, enveloping everyone in the center of the shield formation. Then Zhongming leaped to the top of the formation, took out an 80-meter short gun from a space crystal safe he retrieved earlier, and aimed at the bomb falling from high altitude. Click! A bullet hit the bomb with precision. A deafening explosion followed. The power of the explosion even reached Melody Master 500 meters away. He could feel the aftermath. He immediately had a bad feeling, and then they disregarded Zhongming's instructions, rushing towards the center of the battlefield. When he saw almost all of them in front of him had lost their combat effectiveness, Melody Master and a few others couldn't help but be shocked. He quickly went to help with the treatment. But the only thing worth celebrating is that everyone is still alive. And this round, Zhongming won the bet. In the near future, people will need to rely on a wheel draw even to eat a Yao ramen. In the zombie-ridden apocalypse, competing for the wheel has become key to survival and strength. Zhongming, who has been reborn, is making unstoppable progress. He became the first to reach level 2 Evolver and successfully obtained 2 treasures from the highly risky Devil's Bet. However, in this battle, the entire team ended up lying down. After 4 days of rest and recovery, everyone who needed to recover has fully returned to their original state. However, Sheng Yuan, who was most severely injured, still needs to lie down flat. Iron Corpse, who was cut in half, is currently unable to recover. The success of this plan relies mainly on the directional bomb that Xiao Lei previously used to blow up the building. In addition to Sheng Yuan's defensive skills, their harvest can be described as overflowing. So next, it's time to start everyone's favorite inventory time. After the explosion, Most of the exotic beasts on the field were finished off by Zhongming. Therefore, they obtained 15 level 3 magic crystals. Nowadays, there are hardly any level 3 magic crystals on the market, so this is another opportunity for Zhongming to widen the gap. If you are lucky enough, encountering a level 3 will allow you to get ahead and directly obtain a 3 stars evolution potion. After the magic crystal inventory is completed, it's time to focus on the precious treasures on the exotic beast, especially this soul orb that looks like an apple. It is the heart of the heavy armor sword skeleton. It has no effect on ordinary evolvers, but it is a treasure for crafting professionals. It is essential for crafting equipment with certain special abilities or unleashing special skills, as it serves as a catalyst for them. However, compared to this, the biggest gain from this battle is the second treasure obtained from the Devil's Bet. Sacrifice Gate. In simple terms, it means offering something as a sacrifice, and then giving something else back to the user based on what they have sacrificed. If it weren't for Zhongming being a craftsman, I wouldn't even know what this is. And most importantly, this sacrifice gate is actually a golden equipment. A solid golden legendary. In the previous life, at least 7 stars evolution was required to start getting involved. To actually obtain it, at least an 8 stars level was needed. Without further ado, Zhongming's excited little heart has already started to beat faster. He then directly took out a magic crystal and threw it in. He looked at it expectantly. What followed was the calmness of the air. This darn thing had absolutely no reaction. Later, Zhongming persisted. It must be that the way of opening it is incorrect. But the next moment, the sacrifice gate remains as calm as still water without any ripples. Under the circumstances where there is truly no alternative, Zhongming took out the few level 3 magic crystals. He hesitated for a moment before tossing them in. As expected, the crystal above started to undergo subtle changes. If you put a magic crystal, it can create changes. That proves it's a matter of quantity. In the near future, people will need to rely on wheel lottery even just to eat Buddha jumps over the wall. In a world dominated by zombies, fighting for the wheel has become the key to survival and power. The resurrected Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. In the life and death battle of Devil's Bet, he obtained a piece of golden legendary equipment. Sacrifice Gate. After he placed a level 3 magic crystal, the sacrifice gate finally showed a strange change. This filled Zhongming with anticipation. He then continued to put coins into it. But only the white line in the middle became larger. There were hardly any other changes. This is almost no different from a bottomless pit. This puts Zhongming in a dilemma. A chicken rib that is tasteless to eat yet a pity to discard. Relying on his current strength as expected, golden equipment is indeed too far away for him. Therefore, Zhongming had no choice but to set it aside for now. Then summoned another major reward from this time. Rumbling Engineer. After testing, the cooldown time for this little thing actually requires 30 hours. Zhongming can be inferred from its name. The function of this thing should be more than just setting up a turret. And it's also a robot, with its own craftsman profession. It should be possible to make improvements. So without further ado, Zhongming directly summoned a piece of ghost metal. Attached the ghost metal to something small using enchanting, like making a 90 centimeter short sword. But it didn't turn out as expected by this YouTuber. The wind is calm and the water is still, without a ripple. Zhongming embodies the spirit of never giving up and never admitting defeat. But the air remains peaceful. This made Zhongming feel defeated once again. Life was not worth living. He even began to suspect that ghost metal had passed its expiry date. Then he casually threw it into the sacrifice gate. The white lines on the gemstone thickened once again. It did prove that ghost metal had not expired, since ghost metal is fine. Then the problem lies with the little one. When Zhongming saw the little one's anus, he was immediately surprised. 3 embedded holes appeared on its anus. This time, Zhongming saw hope again. Because of his craftsmanship skills. There is still one gem inlay with nothing to do. There are only 3 ways to make the equipment have gem sockets. One way is that the equipment comes with sockets by default. Another way is that craftsmen have the ability to add gem sockets during crafting. The last way is with the precious one-time hole puncher. Surprisingly, this little thing already comes with 3 gem sockets. In the previous life, it could be considered an artifact, so Zhongming took out a piece of ghost metal and inserted it into one of the sockets. Zhongming uses gem inlay, and a hexagram rune array appears. After a moment, a dazzling light shines around the small object. With a whoosh sound, he successfully upgrades to become an advanced rumbling engineer. He unlocked the first firing form ray turret. And there are still 3 more firing forms unlocked. When Zhongming saw the energy needed to unlock it, he looked completely puzzled. Unlocking Form 2 alone requires 1 million energy units. 1 energy is equivalent to 1 level 1 magic crystal. Converting to level 2 requires 10,000 crystals. Seeing this quantity makes Zhongming's head ache directly. For the current Zhongming, there is nothing he can do temporarily. After he finishes counting this harvest wave, he should treat the red-haired iron corpse after counting this harvest wave. In the near future, people will need to rely on wheel to draw lots even to have a sip of the yellow river water. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, snatching the wheel becomes the key to survival and power in the apocalypse. Zhongming, who has been reborn, is like a walking guidebook. Just obtained legendary golden equipment at the beginning of the game. But the cost of this battle is enormous. Even Iron Corpse is on its last breath. But luckily, she is a human puppet, and happened to obtain this soul orb from the heavy armor sword skeleton. Afterwards, Zhongming stuffed the soul orb into her chest area. Then feed her a level 3 magic crystal, and leave the rest to fate. And at this moment, everyone is starting dinner. To be honest, this YouTuber never has such a hearty meal even on New Year's Eve. After dealing with everything, Zhongming came out carrying 3 modified bulletproof vests. One of them is for the key physician in the team, Teacher Piao. The other one is for the meat shield, Sheng Yuan. And finally, the last one. Because both ladies found it too ugly, they let Flat Top Bro pick up the leftovers. After the distribution is complete, they went to win over the just awakened Sheng Yuan. Sheng Yuan is indeed a person with a serious professional illness. He only focused on the issue of shield repair when he saw Zhongming. But Zhongming's answer surprised him greatly. The shield could actually repair itself. This is Zhongming's first step in winning people's hearts. He instilled confidence with a strong backing. The second step is to create suspicion. Zhongming revealed every detail of Sheng Yuan's past, leaving Sheng Yuan puzzled. This added to Zhongming's mysterious aura. The third step is to deepen the conflict. Zhongming pointed out Sheng Yuan's inner secrets incisively and accurately. He is seeking revenge for his girlfriend, Li Ying. Hunt down his former boss, Huang Shijie, and his subordinates. He is continually exposing their past secrets. This makes Sheng Yuan feel that Zhongming is even more unfathomable. After a series of preparations, it comes to the final step, making a promise. As long as you follow me, I will help you seek revenge. Just become the shield of our team. Sure enough, the 4-move combination of Sheng Yuan has instantly broken through the defense. Everything is proceeding in an orderly manner under Zhongming's plan. As Zhongming turned to leave, Sheng Yuan still wanted to inform him of a secret, which is about the forces behind Huang Shijie. But Zhongming didn't wait for him to finish. He directly said the 4 words, "Imperial Guide." The disdain on his face once again shocked Sheng Yuan to the core. What the hell is this guy? And at this moment, the dark night with a high wind turned into a murderous night. Previously, Sunglass Doctor appeared by Huang Shijie's side. Now he is appearing on the hill with several people. He is still wearing sunglasses in the middle of the night. They are planning to capture a level 2 mutated mountain goat downhill. However, their strength is insufficient. Sunglass Doctor opens the medicine box and takes out a syringe filled with yellow liquid. Don't worry. Just need some time. In the near future, people will need to rely on a wheel lottery even to have a bite of jinhua ham. In a post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, stealing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power in the post-apocalyptic world. Zhongming, who has been reborn, always stays one step ahead. In the heavily guarded Wheelon base, Zhongming, who comes and goes without a trace, has successfully rescued his comrade from the previous life, Sheng Yuan. Now, the group is planning to go back to fulfill Sheng Yuan's wish. Let him seek revenge on his girlfriend's behalf from his former boss, Huang Shijia. When the two guards saw that the newcomer was the fugitive Sheng Yuan, they couldn't help but shudder. Immediately, they had the guard standing behind them inform Huang Shijia. But before the guard could finish his words, an 80-meter short sword plunged straight into his back. It was done by Xiao Lei. She had long wanted to get rid of these scum, because these guards had once burned another town to ashes simply for the magic crystal. Thousands of people did not die at the hands of zombies, but instead, they died in the greed of fellow human beings. Seeing this situation, the two guards could only run away and quickly close the gate, trapping the crowd outside the gate in order to buy time to seek reinforcements.